know.
It's
The last thing he typed was he complained about me not going to King of the Hill to play a game I don't play.
He's right, Bob. He's right.
Well, I just figured, everyone's like everyone I
as if
actually
he is
care
going
about
to
is
King of
going.
the Hill.
Damn
Everyone I
straight. There you
actually
go.
care about is going to what the fuck is it again?
Oh, this is how
Yeah,
much he
shit.
cares. This is how much he cares. Alright, I'm live on YouTube as well, so the VOD should automatically be uploaded on YouTube. If somebody wants to chat in YouTube chat, don't do this to yourself. Because everyone else is at Twitch, it seems. Alright. In that case, everyone else is at Twitch, it seems. I can hear myself and I can hear my music on stream. Perfect. I've not fucked up. We can start on pool. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm gonna add Moon, and in the meantime, can I also have the tier list? Hopefully he'll deliver that within the next however long.
2.5 hours if history's any indicator, but there's less people on the call. So
Alright. Alright, the PowerPoint is fairs. Being like, can I also have the tier list? Fucking make it.
Nope. He went to the effort of screenshotting everybody's profiles.
You could just copy and paste that, save it into an
And I'm
image,
going
and then
to... Nope.
Do you want me to make the tier list for you?
Nope.
Yeah, do it in the background.
Nope.
I can just make you the tier list.
Don't make Moon do it.
Nope.
You could do this. Yeah. This would take about 2.5 minutes.
Alright, I gave you the Discord stream of the pool, right?
I'm making the tier list.
Yeah.
Alright, are we ready to go? Are we ready to rumble?
Sure.
Yeah, resounding yes from
Captain.
the crowd. Alright. Brandon typing to me? Alright, explode.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So, we'll quickly go through. This was pool 1 of Mark, Lexi, Brandon, Cat, Bag Enthusiast, Piper, Chex, Neon, Bommy, and Riley. Wait, and Muse. And Moon. Wait.
Do you hate these people?
So this is everyone. This is everyone else now. We'll start pool. Pool 1 had some strong teams. It had some strong teams, but it also had some weak teams. But not as weak. Not as weak to what we're used to. So what we're gonna go with is one of the strong teams, I'd say, in pool A.
What?
This looks from. Hang on. Dragapult, Mega Diancie, a reliable rapid spinner. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
This is looking. Why isn't?
And if you close your eyes. All right.
I don't know, Moon. I don't know, Brandon. Serena's much worse at spinning than Terrapagos.
I agree. That is the one I was talking about.
All
You're
right.
correct.
Kieran, defend yourself.
So
now.
true.
Kieran, what do you have to say about this team?
I was
good
first picking. They let me
water,
get
good
Tusk.
bulky steel.
What? How is this my fault?
How did that happen? How did that happen?
That's
What
not my.
are those bums in Pool A doing?
I was expecting.
Nothing like our glorious Pool 1, their barbarous Pool A.
I was expecting to have to pick Terrapagos, but then great. I was like, we get like halfway through the like snake like snaking back to me, and I'm like messaging Muse like, wait, no one's picked Tusk. There's no one like. There's like 2 people left who could feasibly like pick Tusk for their team because like they like what they have so far, like it would be too redundant on some of the other ones. And I was like, surely it doesn't get to me, but if it does get to me, I guess I just pick it. And then it gets to me, so like that's not my fault.
I like the idea that Tusk is already redundant on some teams by round 2.
I'm glad,
round 3.
I'm glad mine is one of these teams.
No,
So
it's round 2.
I simply couldn't turn it off by then.
Round 2. Oh yeah, it's there round 2. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. It's not so much that it's redundant. It's just that I'm looking at the teams and I'm like, they've got like, there's a lot of teams that have like special attackers. Some people are doing like insane people things, like the round 1 Melmetal. So I'm like, well, that's probably not going to be Melmetal Tusk as your first 2 picks. You're probably going to round this out with some sort. I don't know what Swift's doing. We'll get there, but like. I'm like, that's probably not Tusk for the next pick. I don't know, like, just vibes-wise, I was looking at some
If
people.
you see a round 1 Melmetal, you're not expecting a round 2 bounce back. You're expecting
round
some
2
sort
bounce
of...
back Tusk. No, he's constructed some sort of very specific, probably extremely dogshit draft that he's going for, and Tusk is unlikely to be a part of that. You're not flexing to look at what's still on the board if you're doing that. If you're picking round 1 Melmetal, you are not like responding to what's on the board and what's free.
Yeah,
It's true.
I mean there are some pretty solid differences from between yours and mine.
There are.
You know, they'll come to my mind eventually. We both have the 115 speed tier. That's pretty funny. But yours does actually sacrifice a bit of speed that mine has in exchange for, so I would say, some more utility in general. Like, for example, you have multiple very reliable rock setters. Meanwhile, I'm kind of starving for that.
Mm.
Yeah, you have Tusk, Dynasty, and Poleon, and Mesprit.
Yeah.
You have a double rapid spin plus a defogger.
I was really trying to focus on, because my spinner was Tusk. I was really trying to focus on making it so that I didn't have
double
to bring
defog
spinning
and a
Tusk
rapid
every week.
spinner.
You're probably, yeah. Like I was like, sometimes I do just want to bring Banded Tusk, you know?
Yeah.
Like I like.
Yeah, having
don't-
the ability to free Tusk up like that, I do think that I actually would like to have like a secondary ground type, because I think Tusk can end up being like overburdened with being forced to be the defensive ground type on a team.
Yeah,
Or rather, not so much overburdened as I feel like you end up missing out on a lot of its offensive value doing that.
All right.
But that was just what it felt like when I
Right,
was
we have a
using it. I
message-
might just.
We have a message from our sponsors. Crossed Moon is asking everybody in voice chat, and I'm going to drop it in Twitch chat, to claim the Maturino.
My glorious king. I will.
For those who don't
I
know,
must.
Maturino is like, you literally like tick a box and you put your email or something like that. I don't even know what you do. You just claim codes, and the Maturino will give like a couple like pennies, 20p, 50p, something like that per redemption to the prize pot.
It has done, my glorious king.
You're welcome, Moon.
So I'm hoping everybody is claiming their codes. 1 second, let me claim it with Google. There we go.
Let me look at my prep doc.
I was about to say, if somebody on the side could prep doc these, because I think somebody did last time, Moon or Moody or something.
Me and Moon were both doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hang on, I'll do it.
I was looking at mine because, incidentally, Serena as like a utility pick was not initially on this draft. Initially, I wanted Bulu, but Bulu was stolen by the team that like round 2 picked Tapu Fini, and then decided it wanted to go back in for more terrain for some reason. So I didn't get Bulu, which is a shame because
Big and greedy.
Just big and greedy for that, which is a shame because I did want like, I feel like, I mean, the first 4 picks on my team don't really have. There's nothing that super duper walls it, but I did want like something to hit bulky waters.
You've got your
for
fire,
Chi-Yu.
water, grass car.
Yeah, something I was
one
going to say.
one thing that the first 4 picks don't really like is water fairy types. So I wanted
They don't know.
I wanted.
Well, looking
Bulu
at your
to
type
take them for
matchup
me.
chart, I like that I've been asked to prep doc a team that of somebody who was in this call. but-
no.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the ground weakness is quite heavy as well.
The
It's why,
ground weakness is quite real.
it's why I have a Mesprit, and it's also why I. it's
Really,
also-
where'd you find it? Because I'm only familiar with Mesprit, which is
Mesprit.
not the thing you said.
Yes, this is true.
The
I have a Mesprit,
the
which sounds
wikification of Draft League.
very weak.
Somebody in
but
chat is saying another Serena for Kieran. Bob.
I like
the-
Serena. What can I say?
Bob
It's good. Spin.
PR.
That's my friend Rob. I'm always like telling people like Serena has crazy value. Whenever they're like talking about draft, I'm like, this mon gets like 120 attack. It's got like 98 in like both its defenses for some fucking reason.
It's only bad start is speed
my
being
God,
mediocre, right?
Yeah, 72.
It gets
It's
drop
special
kick.
attacks not good. It gets bad move drop kick. Its coverage is like fine. Like this mon is like weirdly like
It gets high jump
just
kick,
lots of
knockoff,
value.
triple axle.
the speed holds it back a lot, and the fact that it's like, but like I don't know. You just look at this thing, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Turns off priority.
Like
Mm.
yeah, which comes up sometimes.
With that
It's like
speed start. Mm.
if I don't want to switch Chi-Yu into Prankster mons, I can switch Serena in.
It's true.
I don't know. It's like it is, and it gets knocked, which is nice. Like I like more knock. on
Yeah.
a team. I tend to draft.
How
a
many
lot
do
of
you
them.
have? You have
What I will say
Empoleon,
is that-
Serena,
Five.
Mesprit, Muck.
You
Yeah.
have some decent FizzDef mons, but none that I would call really strongly physically bulky,
Surely-
except for
surely
Tusk himself.
Except for Tusk. Yeah.
But
Unfortunately,
again, that's leading back to, frankly, as time goes on, I've become less of a defensive Tusk guy because Tusk is so good offensively.
yeah, this is true. I mean, I might bring defensive Tusk and just go with like bulk up and just try and be like, I'll get the bulk up and I'll get it spin maybe, and it might happen.
I used to run a set like this in OU, which was exactly this was like a few metas, a good few metas ago. This might have been pre-DLC too. It was like a Tusk that had exactly enough speed where +1 it outsped like Enamorous Incarnate, and then everything else was in defense.
Yeah,
and it was bulk up.
because I mean 131 is a big number, and it clicks strong ass fucking buttons usually, which makes up a lot of it.
I remember
But I will agree. My fizz def is like
Dragonite, and E-Speed did 8% to me because I was at +6.
my fizz def is going to be relying a lot on grass and Terra Mesprit, like having decent defensive like profiles and decent like hopefully like good type matchups into
Willow
physical
Chiyu
attack.
and Willow Dragapult are coming every week. Don't worry.
That's true.
It's true.
That's all true.
That is also incredible.
I'm excited to see you Dragapult because I feel I've seen Dragapult be let down the past few times I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna be incredible with Pulse moves. I mean, it doesn't have like the trillion moves that Deoxys Speed has, but
Raikou gets extreme speed?
it does, and it has 85 attacks, so I can go Banded Terra Normal Extreme Speed, and it's not
I'm
the
sure
worst shit I've
you
ever seen.
could. Anyway,
Yeah, same
It
way
could, but yeah,
Deoxys-
that's the other
Deoxys
weakness of my
defense could.
team. Is the priority is much worse than Brandon's. It's Raikou Extreme Speed, Pulp Quick Attack, lol, and fucking like Shadow Sneak on Muck. It's like not
yeah,
great.
we get sneaky.
Yeah, we can get sneaky with it. Oh, and I guess I've got Vacuum Wave on Empoleon for whatever that fucking matters.
But in general, I'd still say it's a very good and well-rounded team with big, scary,
I would agree.
big, scary threats. Terra Raikou, I think, is probably one of the better Terra captains running around. Terra Mesprit
The
is
fact that
just
it's
going to be
Terra is really
going to be
funny.
Terra Mesprit is going to be a very good and useful defensive mon. Empoleon and Serena are kind of consistent mid guys. Mega Diancie is a button clicker. Dragapult is whatever you want it to be. Chiyu and Tusk are hopefully going to be button clickers, and Muck is a grounded poison.
Yeah, Muck is on the team because I knew. I don't know. I had 4 points, and I was like, well, I may as well get a poison type.
Yeah. So I think it's probably gonna rank quite highly. It's difficult to not rank highly when your first 4 picks are Pult, Tusk, Chiyu, Mega Diancie.
Yeah, free like mons that are like round 1 picks in Paldea.
This draft whips ass. This is the coolest draft of all time.
What was it?
Is that the case?
He said it was horse. What was it?
Horse race
Moments
stuff.
Aura?
Oh, you're talking about.
I said
I
it
thought you were
was-
talking about Kieran's for a second.
No, mine's not cool. Mine's just good.
No,
It's
this
Yours
is
is just
Uma
going to
Musume.
fucking kill people.
This is Uma Musume, actually. It was going to be a horse race test, but he can do a better joke with Uma Musume.
And you can always
Also,
tell
I
the
was
joke
told.
whenever you want.
I think
I still
that-
like Spectria being Nightmare Knifemare. I think that's very appropriate, but I guess it will be like Manhattan Cafe or whatever.
nightmare.
I saw people. I saw a few people be displeased about Ninetales getting taken round 4 after he had already locked
Jeez.
in Urshifu Rapid Strike and people thought Ninetales was safe.
People.
That's hey, I'm one of those people.
You're the only of these people.
Oh, it's just me. I mean, I was kind of once I got over the betrayal, I realized that actually he'd freed me to play what I want to play anyway, which is like just a good draft and not have to play whatever.
Yes, things.
'cause-
This is the most stat padded speed tier I've ever seen because of 2 horses.
Hmm.
Actually, that's not true. Moon's speed tiers were even more stat padded because of the apes.
Oh, that's true.
Having said that, speed tiers are still very good. Spectria has no actual synergy with the rest of this team. He's just an evil and intimidating horse to clean up sweep.
He's just on the team.
Yeah, you think you're safe once you've made it through the sun turns. But then the evil and intimidating horse looks at your soft and squishy team that's taken like 5 flare blitzes in a row and goes, delicious.
Terra Venusaur will go crazy? Yeah, no, yeah, that's true.
Terra Venusaur will go crazy.
That's
That
definitely
one was
Terra
maybe
Venusaur.
a mistake.
We
Yeah,
gave it Terra growth turns.
Yeah.
We gave it
Don't like that.
setup opportunities with terroring out of its weaknesses, and we just gave it more power with like Terrafire Weather Ball.
And then we have Terra Hatterene to like expand its list of like things it can like sit in front of and block rocks against.
I mean, we can talk about about type matchups and stuff. Actually, no, extremely surprisingly, this team is extremely weak to ice.
What?
Because
Gliscor,
all
Roaring
of our-
Moon,
all of
Walking
our,
Wake is neutral.
What's the ice resist here? Exactly.
All of the sun users are not fire types.
It's
apart from
Ninetales as our
Rapidash.
ice resist,
Yeah.
but our ice weaknesses are several. Now, admittedly, Venusaur will be terroring out of it, but
This is also a team with exactly
it's
no rock
unsurprisingly
resist.
weak to rock. Yeah,
Having no resist is something that probably could have been avoided, but whatever.
yeah.
I sure hope this team
Let's
doesn't have to
round.
fight a person with like some sort of like fast rock type with 160 attack and access to a
Well,
signature rock move.
yeah.
That would be
Well,
really
perhaps.
annoying.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. In a world where Liam was going for Sun from the beginning, that Slitherwing might have been a great Tusk, actually.
The Great Tusk is the only reason I thought about pivoting to Sun.
Which, would have dealt with a lot of that rock weakness. The other real weakness, apparently type-wise, that this bullshit has, well, it's got two. It's got a pretty decent weakness to Fairy and Ghost, but the Fairy one is real. The Ghost one is fake because Roaring Moon is switching into every Ghost and going them anyway.
This is true.
But apparently this team has a colossal weakness to flying, in that it doesn't have a flying resist.
Oh, that isn't a steel type or a rock.
This team doesn't
type.
have a steel
Well,
type.
why would you?
Or an
Why would
electric
you
type.
draft a steel type when we're setting up the Sun? We're
That's
just
true,
making
that's true,
we're just
That's
making it
true.
die.
No, this is
I've
true.
seen some people draft Heat Run with Sun. That is-
Yes.
However,
that's the one you'd want.
it's that a lot of these are just things you accept when you're drafting Sun. It's so funny looking at the speed on this draft document and seeing all the like yellow and green, and then Hatterene with 29 base speed.
This team is Bolivar.
This team is cool. I like. I mean, I like Sun in general.
doesn't-
I think Sun is a cool playstyle.
How much does it rely on Sun? Spectria, Gliscor, Roaring Moon, Hatterene,
See,
Walking
I
Wake,
think
and one of Venusaur, Slitherwing can probably come as a 6 if anyone.
I think it is incredibly reliant on Sun because I think this team defensively sharing this many weaknesses will fold. Right? Like even if the individual mons defensively are like strong, like there is Gliscor, Roaring Moon is like good in Spadef. And Hatterene is there. The fact that they just have so many like overlapping weaknesses and just a lack of like crucial resist, I think means that this team has to be it has to have the Sun and it has to have that advantage in speed and just raw stats, or it's not going to make it.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
Yeah.
it can do it. It looks like a team that could pull that off pretty consistently. Spectre is literally
Well,
just,
the team is
Spectre
judged on a
is
metric
just
of
here
how well
to-
it can force its information.
Yeah.
Spectre literally is just here
It's just here
to
to
try
anchor
and like
down-
clean up sweep at the end.
anchor down the speed consistently.
It's here for horse advantage.
But
It's putting down horse pressure.
in general, it just looks cool. It just looks scary.
I like looking at it.
Yeah. I don't know
I like
why.
these
It looks
guys.
cool. We'll see where it ranks.
Mm.
Oh, for round 1 Mel medal.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on here then?
So this is why I got this is part of the reason why I managed to get round like wheel fucking Great Tusk is because Swift was doing this. Swift was side questing.
Look, I won't justify it as a tactical choice, but I can go to bat for Swift saying I want to make sure I secured the guys I want to use. I think that's fair enough. Definitely some reaches in there, but I can understand being like, well, it's going to be what 8 weeks regular season, make playoffs. It's going to be like 3-4 weeks for the finals. Then you have a break. Well, he could, but
Yeah.
you know, like if you want to chuck down like 3-4 months on a draft, you want to make sure like you've at least got your guys you want. And I don't think he was like that drawn to the very top guys. So like he's picked up like Sneasler. But,
I don't think round 1 Melmetal is that insane. I think round 2 Rillaboom into wait another round for into wait 2 more rounds for Sneasler. I'm not sure what was like. This is what what is happening? This is like ADHD
his guys
drafting.
He wanted his guys.
Is nuclear.
I'm pretty sure the Sneasler thing was just like, holy shit, that mon's still there.
I'm
Go.
still there, and I guess I have my Rillaboom.
I
so
like
why not?
these fellas, Swift says.
Yeah, I
They're
mean, fair
very
enough.
nice.
I get that that's what's happening.
Shoutouts to this team's average attack stat, by the way.
Yeah, it makes
Already
me it makes me
pretty
sick.
Oh yeah,
Because even
Blacephalon
the
has a
guys who
fucked
don't
up-
have much, even Hydreigon's got like a decent one, right?
Blacephalon
Blacephalon-
has like over 100
Blacephalon-
attack, right?
Hydreigon's is okay. Well,
Blacephalon
Cephalon has
is over
more.
130, right? It's like
No, it's not over 130, but it is slightly more than Rillaboom.
it's a lot. What is it then?
What's it?
127.
It's 127.
127.
It's nearly 130. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, Blacephalon's hard body.
He will
You got a
explode.
wedge to him.
Mind blown.
What is the average attack stat on this team?
It actually ends up being like 105 because specifically, it's getting dragged down a lot by Togekiss
Hmm.
What
down
is
in
it,
base.
Togekiss?
Yeah, like
Fifty.
before Togekiss, it's just crazy numbers. It's just
But
like one.
the first 5 mons on this team have an average attack stat of like 120.
Thanks for glazing my draft and putting it ST. I appreciate it. ST all around.
Yeah, you're
Everybody.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Alright,
I think that's
enjoy your food.
I think. Yep, I agree.
I'm saluting. I'm saluting.
Apparently, Archon's attack stat is 112, which raises the average up.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
like,
true. I removed
Archeops is like
Archon from
140.
this. Yeah, Archeops is crazy. Yeah.
Hmm.
I removed Archon from this because I just don't care to count 1-point tax evasion mons into like tight matchups and stuff.
Swift might bring it. That's the
I don't
kind of
care.
guy he is.
Please
God,
bring
I
it,
don't
Swift.
care.
Please bring it, please.
You have to. You like with anyone else, I'd agree, but you have to evaluate.
No,
Swift
but I
target
don't.
pick.
But I don't.
It's going to factor in. He will bring it. This is
Alright,
actually a part of his
But
draft.
in general, what do we have to say? The Melmetal Rillaboom is obviously to give Melmetal an EQ, resist, and the extra healing, which goes a long way on Melmetal. Blacephalon patches
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
a... My bad.
The speed
Blacephalon,
tiers are okay.
yeah, helps with
Speed
speed.
tiers
and-
are. The speed
They're-
tiers are
they're
still
pretty
not good.
They're pretty good, right?
Sneasler
120.
is...
Sneasler is good, but
120.
Sneasler ends up being like a 900 speed tier because this one is just
Yeah.
running unburdened
Okay,
through
yeah,
time.
yeah. No, I'll
So
give
in
you that.
practice, it doesn't force things to want to run jolly. Like 130 mons aren't going to run jolly because they don't actually care because they can't outspeed Sneasler anyway.
I think that this is. I mean, yes and no. I think this is a draft that also is feasibly wanting to go long. So I do think you still have to prepare for potential banded Sneasler U-turns and shit.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I might still
In
want to run
practice.
Jolly just in case it's doing that, right? Because it
Yeah.
is it looks real on this team. Because it's got Deoxys defense, it's got grassy terrain, it's got like Mega Blastoise.
But having a
and-
mon like Sneasler being your only way to outspeed anything above anything that hits
Yeah.
110 is not great.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I think Blacephalon
And
will
then-
be coming strapped to a scarf
and-
a lot.
And then the fact that a base 100 outruns everything but 2 mons on this team
Yeah, I'll give
is
you that.
really
Shit
not
does get
good.
crazy
The
scary. spooky,
distribution of
hilarious.
speeds below 100 is good, and the speed tiers above 100 are good, but not having like a base 100 or very slightly above a base one, like a base 100 to 105 is like a weird thing to have. I will give you that. Well, I mean, there's always the Farigiraf Trick Room, which I'm sure he is, and the Deoxys Trick Room, which I'm sure he's actually.
Yeah, but this actually isn't slow enough for Trick Room, apart from exactly Melmetal.
And I'm assuming that's who's gonna do it.
Well, no,
yes.
this is the thing. I suggested the whole like teleport Trick Room Deoxys defense to him at some point or other. So I believe
Why
that's
did you do that?
because I want to do it because it sounds fun.
I've done that before.
And you gave it to Swift to do.
Yeah, because I had my own shit that I wanted
That's
to
mean.
do.
I did that before.
What?
I did that with my Mega Mawile in Draft 2, and I ended up running like 1 week. It was a super slow Specs Heatran. The Specs Eruption Tran.
Swift.
Oh.
I like what Jester said.
Yeah.
Swift is gonna bring Wonder Room thinking it's Trick Room. That might happen.
That's awesome, Swift. Please do
That's
that.
the wrong room. Oh no. Or yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah. I don't know, it might happen. It could happen. But
No.
I'm gonna love the week when he brings Trick Room and he's like, oh yeah, and then ends up getting underspeeded by half the shit.
yeah.
Well, I mean, my team's probably a good team for it, realistically.
I can see it.
Because like my slowest mon is like base 70. So like, you know, my top end.
Negative nature on Blastoise and underspeed everything and just start hitting everyone with Blastoise moves.
Like what's it, water spout?
What are some things about this team?
What's the removal like? It's Defog on Togekiss, Rapid Spin on Mega Blastoise who can't wear boots, and
Defog Hydreigon.
Defog on Hydreigon.
Yeah. So the removal's, I would say, bad. The removal's quite poor.
Yeah.
The setting's also very
The
concentrated.
setting is
It's on Deoxys defense. Hydreigon gets rocks and Sneasel gets Toxic Spikes, and that's it, right?
yeah. DOD doing a lot of heavy lifting.
So again, it's DOD's the only guy who wants to be running them consistently, and the other guys are like offensive guys who might leverage the momentum for it. But do we want to be doing that on a team this slow?
35 ways of setting rocks. Not setting rocks, of doing Thunder Wave. Every fucking one on this team gets T-Wave.
We can drag you down to our level.
DOD might be one of the funny Terra captains with big potential.
That one might just be immortal some weeks.
Heikki, you walk into Swift, you have to bring Toxic, you have to bring Encore. And like if he doesn't Terra to Steel, you're toxicking this thing and waiting it the fuck out. If he's trying to copy power, you've got to Encore this thing.
Yep.
Or more realistically,
I'm
just
terribly aware.
pack Taunt on 10 guys. Also helps you with all the Thunder Waves everything's going to be trying to collect, hopefully.
True.
Fortunately, the Thunder Wave part I can sort of navigate because of Feeny. Unfortunately, getting toxic on Deoxys is also ruined by my Feeny.
This is true.
This is where people are going to start bringing out like seismic toss strats because it has 12 HP.
Well, finally,
lock
we
in.
might finally teach the DDL
That's
what
super real.
we might
That'll
finally teach the DDL
won't
what
outpace the recovery.
phasing is.
It won't outpace the recover. It'll force them to recover every turn.
Yeah.
Deoxys has 50 base HP. It ends up with like 300 total.
Yeah. This is true.
I don't know. It is a Swift draft in the fact that there appears to be
bunch of very high
something.
attack stats, but yeah, like I said, I don't love the speeds letting it. I don't know if it'll get to leverage them that much, combined with the fact that several of these mons are not what I would call the bulkiest. They're simultaneously not frail though.
Yeah, there's lots of good mons, not insane synergies.
I think this team could like. I think there is a possibility, like there are with a lot of drafts, where one piece could completely fill in all the holes and make everything connect up. And I think that piece has been superseded by Farigiraf on this draft. Farigiraf and Mega Blastoise, if those points were combined and shifted into like...
I like that this is a second person who's gone like, I'm going to do Mega Blastoise Terrain Pulse in a terrain that boosts a type that Mega Blastoise is weak to.
Yeah, hang on.
I can confirm, Swift didn't know Terrain Pulse was a move.
Why the fuck is Mega Blastoise
He just picked up Mega Blastoise because he wanted a water type, he wanted a bulky guy, he wanted a spinner.
And we
Why don't you
picked
spin yourself
a guy
out
who's
of this
not good.
league?
we picked like a guy who you're spending a bunch of points for things that he is like not very good at. Like he can do those things, but the reason you pick it,
It's a
we've
strong water
evaluated
pulse.
him as we have, is that he clicks strong attacks.
It's a
Yeah.
strong water pulse.
Mhm.
It's not
We'll
that
see
strong.
though. Hopefully he has fun. Hopefully he has fun. He's apparently locking in this season.
Well, that's
so...
all we ever hope for. He's
Um,
yeah, I'm sure.
Who's this? I don't recognize this name.
I don't know. I've
Me
never
too.
met this person in my life.
Sydney, do you want to speak in for this person though?
You have like similar names. I figure you can like get.
It sounds the
No, you-
same, roughly. So I think it'll.
I'm sure there's like
Same
a
profile picture.
spiritual connection there.
You do have
Well-
the same profile picture.
Is this like your alternate universe version?
Yeah, let's go with that. You know what? This is.
Yeah. This is from Universe A, not Universe. No, this is the Sydney from Universe 1, not Universe A.
Exactly. That's all this is. I don't know anything about draft. This is the first time I've done a draft that wasn't just the gimmick, because I subbed in for DDL 4 and then did low tier. So now I had to be like, shit, let me go find what the good mons are and understand why they're good. And then I realized you can't plan for shit until the first mon's picked. So I went, well, fuck. So I just kind of waited. And then I saw I Am Valiant. I was like, I like that one. Picked it first, and then fucking had to figure out the rest of what was going on. And then Smorgon was like, yeah, Ogre Wellspring works. So it's like, all right, cool. Say no more. Slap that shit in. And then
Why
the
does Valiant
demon.
get Thunderwave? I fucking hate this Pokemon.
It gets a lot of things.
Why does
for
Valiant
some
get
reason.
Steel Swap? Are they stupid?
Don't
Are they
worry
stupid?
about it.
And
Is there a
then,
canon reason for this?
and then after Valiant Wellspring were locked in, I get a DM from Liam saying, "Can you help Sydney?" she wants help with her draft. So I hop in voice chat, and we start explaining how some basic concepts of like how Sid has already locked in some like speed control with Valiant Ogapon round 1-2. Like the top end of speed is probably pretty fine, and we were like, all right. We can go for like the obvious option, which is just generic bulky pivot, Zapdos, Lando, Corviknight type mon, to like let your Valiant and Ogapon hit the field. And then Liam was in the call, and I think Moody was as well. Can confirm
Yep.
that I was just looking at the board and I was like, wait, you need to hear me out here. What if we go for Raging Bolt next? And I explained the concept of what a Raging Bolt is. I also explained how this would kind of set the tone for the rest of the draft. Because once you get Bolt, you have to work around it to get the most out of it. It's not like, generic bulky pivot like a Zapdos, Lando, Corv is. But it does fill that role decently with support. And we just kind of... and that just kind of set the tone for the rest of the draft, and it seems Sid kind of like started working around the top core after that point. Because if you got like Corviknight as a round 3 pick, it's like, okay, well, this draft can still go any direction it wants. Whereas the second you lock in Bolt, it's like, alright, this draft now has like a vision, and we're going to work around that vision. And this is what it came to. I like the Weavile at the end.
The round 8 pick of Weavile, really.
I'm a big
The,
fan
the,
of
I think
Weavile.
this Weavile is so
I'm-
nice because now
I'm a
Valiant
huge
gets
fan
to-
of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Valiant now gets to consider not boost speed from time to time.
Yeah. What I was
think
actually
it's-
going to say is the speed
Full
tiers are
heavy
like, okay, Weavile speed tier, great. Valiant speed tier, amazing. Ogapon Wellspring, can't hold a scarf. Then it flies off of a cliff into a fireball.
Then we start picking up the asshole healing squad, and none of those guys are fast.
75 to 110 is.
It's a graveyard.
We
It is
have
a-
got favorites and the other guys.
I love that film.
It doesn't matter when you've got priority.
Okay, and you
Which,
do have a
which
couple
of the
of
slow guys have priority apart from Bolt?
It's
Alola
exactly.
Mola
Oh, well,
Aquajet
all the rest.
All over Wall has Aqua Jets. It's the truth. Nuke.
Powdon
It's the
does
truth. Nuke.
not have priority.
It's the truth, Nuke.
Powdon uses
Flaw just
Powdon
getting the new fairy type priority move, Water Space.
You're gonna feel so dumb when a Powdon gets when you find out that a Powdon gets Prankster, I'm trying to think of something.
Hippowdon
here, man.
drops,
playing almost any
Hippowdon drops the
ability.
Excel rock on you.
You're gonna feel real
worry.
dumb.
But,
Flaw just
yeah,
got Grassy Glide. Get it twisted.
it's true. I do. If there's one thing
You're
I
gonna
know,
get
I
you're gonna be
think
fucked
is
up when Hippowdon hits you with the speed of ground.
we have a Hippowdon on what I would characterize as a team that like actually does quite like going long. Like so many of these mons have like healing and ways to heal and like longevity and bulk and all that stuff. And we have sand, so we're applying sand chip to the other team. We only have one other immunity, which is a bit odd, I think. I don't think it's crazy, but I don't know that Hippowdon was. We're drafting Hippowdon for its like stats and ability. It's stats and move pool rather than for like the sand.
Yeah.
But I think
Also-
there are weeks where we're going to not appreciate this sand very
Hippowdon
much at
is
all.
the only rock setter on the team.
That is
Yeah.
also a problem.
So it's going to need to come a lot. It'll
It's
probably be setting sand against ourselves a lot, which isn't.
Well, I mean, you could just not run Sandstream.
You could, but at that point, it could be another guy.
I will say, Hippowdon
To
was
be
the
fair,
only.
Hippowdon
I-
has worked on plenty of teams historically that only had like one or two other sand immunities.
That's
Though
That's
that's in
fair.
constructed formats as opposed to draft
Yeah.
ones.
I think there's a lot of like other bulky ground types that you could have gotten slightly cheaper, and then you could have like a ninth mon instead of routes. But the ninth mon would not be crazy.
In
The ninth
practice,
mon-
I'll be on. Yeah, look, the ninth one wouldn't be. I don't think the ninth one would be crazy enough to discount the fact that Hippowdon does have some very good stats and move.
I do
pool.
like him. I do like Hippowdon. I like the things I would be considering instead is like Mudsdale or like Sandaconda or some shit.
That's the big two of
Yeah,
the
and I think
rounds.
and those are
I think Hippowdon is
Oh.
notably better than those.
yeah. Like the HP stat is fat as hell. The defense is very
Slack
good.
off is the
The
big
def
one.
hippo has been slack off is gigantic. It matters so much.
The other two do like not that. It's like the only one that gets this. I don't think there's any
Sure,
other like
yeah.
bulky ground cheaper. That sure, yeah, but that guy sucks.
That guy is dog shit.
That guy's pee pee poo poo.
Whirlwind
Although we
also
would,
helps a lot
a
on this
a
one.
ghost to stop rapid spin would be nice. What's the
How-
type map for this team like?
Oh, I was gonna say, are you sure you want me to tell you?
Is it really good?
Is it
fucked
Fairy
up?
Week?
Is it-
Oh,
is
it's
it evil
definitely
as hell?
Fairy Week.
Well, it's funny. This team doesn't have that. It has a bunch of types that it's like neutral to, like poison, for example. It ends up, according to the draft sheet, being neutral to it. But I think that in practice, its poison resist is Corviknight.
Hippowdon.
well, it's over Hippowdon. Hippowdon can do it. Hippowdon can do it too.
Corviknight's not bad. Although it doesn't
like, ends up
appreciate
being-
being
It ends up
poisoned.
being neutral to ice, but in practice, it's like, well, Weavile isn't an ice resist because it has 3 defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Alola Molar
So
is
it's
like
actually just
7.
Molar.
No, it's not. It's Ice is special.
It's like it is an ice resist, but it's like so
Yeah.
it's
can take
actually
an
just
ice
predicated a
resist,
lot on
fine.
that.
Flawless is an
Or
Ice
like,
resist. Don't worry.
And then there are some that I think are fake in the other direction. Like it says it's fighting neutral, but that's because Weavile is a quad weakness,
Yeah.
and like that doesn't even count because Weavile folds to every physical move, not just fighting ones.
And frankly, before like a sword stance on a strong attacker, like Corviknight is functionally a resist to most
So is
fighting.
Alola Molar.
Yeah.
Molar is more so, honestly.
And Hippowdon, honestly. Wait a
Yeah.
second.
Not bad. That's about exactly. That's what I mean. It's like
Yeah, I don't
it's a
want to click
fugazi
physical.
weakness.
Yeah.
Uh,
Clicking physical
the
moves
realest
this
one,
team
though,
sucks.
this
Clicking
team
special moves
is
this team
weak to
sucks.
fairy, like legit,
Yeah, Valiant Bull.
and it is save me, Corviknight, save my bitch, big bro.
But if you have like Moonblast plus like I don't know T-Bolt or something, it's wraps.
It's
It's
Bidef,
like
it's Bidef Hippo
like
or
owning
die.
a team,
It's Bidef Flawless or die.
and those can do it, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you ran into some kind of Mega
God,
Diancie,
imagine the triple
just
fairy team.
pluck one out of the air.
The triple
Yeah.
fairy team is in pool 1, but it exists.
I also think Terra Captains wise, Florges is like it's like pretty good, but I will say Terra Captains wise, we have Terra on two mons who we really want in their native type.
Yeah. when Hippowdon tearing out of his native type and starting to take Sand Chip
No,
would actually
Hippowdon
like
will
break
go
the
Terra
spirit.
Rock to get the Spadef boost. Watch your space.
True,
It's true.
nuke.
But then we tear it out of ground, and now we don't have an electric community anymore. That's annoying.
I think the issue is
Florges is much more like forgivable tearing out of
nothing
its type
else on
because
this team.
you know what?
can
Florges
Terra.
getting the ability to hit a steel type is very, very nice.
The only
That is
terrible
very nice.
mons were Florges, Alola, and Hippowdon.
Yeah, and all of them I think are mons that love their native type. I think unfortunately you've drafted mons that are too good to have good Terra captains.
I'm not too
Easy
much
for
on
me.
the Florges. That Terra Grass Flower Veil.
True.
But
We talked about this, Brandon, in like
We
season 3. We
In
talked
season
about
3,
Terra
yeah.
Grass. I was like, why do you not have Terra Grass as a Terra type? And then it was like, well, Poison does the same fucking thing.
That Terra
functionally.
Grounds Terra Blast against Steels. Carmine
That's
opens
not-
up.
That's not that bad. Terra Fire, so that we can continue to resist fucking what the fuck
Yep.
stuff. We
Yep.
actually don't have a
Yes.
fire type, so this is huge.
Yeah.
This is huge. We can get we resist
Terrifire
fire.
Hippo Terra Blast is
Nice.
gonna bonk so
We
many.
also, and now this, we were talking about this as a team that will sometimes want to go long, incredibly undercut by not having a grounded poison.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is something that turning Hippo into a Mudstail, we could afford a Muck.
Okay, but you
we
can't
can't.
actually.
We can't.
I mean, you
But-
can't because Muck is dead. But
Removal is what? Defog Cov, Defog Florges?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
This isn't how you spell your name, right? We've talked about this already.
No,
I
is
was-
it?
yeah.
I went to-
her name
Those
is
are the
spelled-
opener.
That was the
Spelled-
opener. Yeah,
yeah,
I went to the toilet to start this. I mean, this is an anagram of Disney, so that's something.
Even
Wow.
worse.
Might as well have said this is an anagram of Satan.
Yeah, it's actually Red Rum backwards.
Did you know Atlanta backwards is actually Atlanta? Look it up.
In general, his team seems annoying to play against. Those are very strong clickers. They're a very, very bulky monster support those clickers. But like in a format like draft, something like a T-Spike, like no grounded poison, certain coverage moves being specifically strong, like fairy and stuff, might come back to bite this team.
Yeah, you could go into this expecting a long game, and you could come up with something that will win in the long game.
Yeah, this would
because of
fuck
that weakness
like this would
specifically.
fuck people up on like ladder, but in a draft format, there are some very exploitable weaknesses.
Yeah. On ladder, this team would be fun as shit to use.
You know, I've seen this team
Yeah,
on ladder
I'd
before.
love to bring 9 ones on
Yeah, I've
ladder.
seen this. Hold on a minute, let's look a little familiar.
Do you know what a Lola Mola
I think
backwards
Brandon's
is?
actually
Jester,
stringed himself
explode.
running this team.
Oh, do I know what backwards is, Wick?
I'm not saying it. You're gonna make fun of how I say it.
I literally didn't hear what you said.
Alomo Mola. Yeah, a Momo Mola.
Yeah.
Alomo. Nope.
Yep.
Alola
Uh-huh.
Mola.
Anemone.
It's
Yes.
a Gen 7 mono. Alola Mola. Alright.
Gen 7? I beg your pardon?
Alola?
Yeah.
Hello, yourself off a bridge.
Yeah, it's a Lola Mola.
Alright. This is the best team in the league, the best team in the game. Unbeatable. What else do I have to say?
I believe all of these things.
Terra Iron Jugulus on electric terrain? Who came up with this? These evil concepts.
Somebody do that in A? No.
No, I told Lexi to do it, and then she said, "No, fuck you. You're stupid."
Mhm.
Which is mean of her. I didn't appreciate it very much.
So let's go over some nice things. The speed tiers on this team are blast your face off. Weird. It is funny to see 136, 130, then 110, and nothing in that 120 band.
Mm. And you know the 110 can't hold a scarf. Basically, bad speed tiers.
True.
That's true.
True.
Mm-hmm. He actually approached me in round 6 and said, "Oh yeah, I don't really know what to do with my next pick. I actually need to pick something slow now."
The 90 also is fake, by the way. There is a jump from 106 to 78 because Jolly Pikachu has never been run. that thing is adamant or it doesn't do anything.
The first Jolly Pikachu.
World's first.
Is enough to be like, as opposed to, it's not as damaging as say Sydney speed jumps, because it's 5 months that can come every week and be fast as fuck, especially with potential electric train speed boosting.
The last 4 months are so situational, I feel. Okay, Shedinja obviously is Quilladin, obviously is Pikachu, obviously.
I don't know why we needed to spend
I
we needed to carve out some space for Quilladin Shedinja.
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. What's the situation for Quilladin exactly?
Pikachu will break your neck with a jolly smile.
What the last 4 is so situational. What is the situation for Quilladin?
If this team wants to click spikes and doesn't want to bring Diggersby.
Diggersby doesn't get spikes, does it?
I think it
does.
does. You get spikes,
in
not
what
rocks, I think.
dimension?
It gets spikes? What the
Yeah, you get spikes.
Why are you bringing Diggersby for spikes? You're bringing Diggersby to click... Okay, here's the other thing. I feel like Diggersby and Pikachu are really redundant because they're both essentially huge power, like, priority clickers. I know Diggersby does get access to strong Earthquake and shit like that, but, like, with these speed tiers, this is a priority clicker. Agreed?
Honestly, the last 4 picks are very weird. I just wanted a bulky grass and Quill get spikes.
Quilladin bulky?
With
How
an
bulky is
Eviolite? Let's
With an
see.
Eviolite? What's its
Let's
HP?
peep the stats. Let's peep the stats.
I think the Shedinja is just there to try and jump scare people into picking the thing.
Okay,
Quilladin is not. All right, come on.
It's barely.
now.
You could maybe call it bulky on the physical side if you like squint. If you really lowered your expectations, you could potentially say that.
61 defense,
Lower the
95
potential LeBron.
95 defense with an
Yeah,
Eviolite.
like I've always felt like if you're picking like some shit like Quilladin as your like bulky grass type, just do without a bulky grass type. Clearly, you didn't think it was important enough to pick a good one. Like, it's not like Grounded Poison where the mere presence of it on your team is doing the thing it's supposed to kind of do. It's like, like, what? This is switching into like things that are clicking attacks that like it's just like switching into a ground type and then the ground type clicks setup moves for no reason. Because Quilladin's not doing shit back.
My Palafin will finally break the Vaporeon after 5 insane correct turns in a row, and then I'll be like, oh, I can click Wave Crash now, and that's where the Quilladin swaps in.
I think if you're my general feeling towards like trying to round off the team at the end is like I'd rather just pick a better guy and forego some things. Like
a
I think you have to
good situational mon.
Yeah, you've got to decide on like things that. Part of my thinking is like if a mon doesn't put any team builder pressure on your opponent, it's not really worth having on the draft. Or if it's not responding to some specific team builder pressure, I don't think Quilladin does either of those things, so I don't see the point. I do kind of see a point in Shedinja in that it's got like a 1% chance to give your opponent a stroke and ruin their coverage, because they try and like deal with Shedinja on every mon. Which, you know, if that's 1 point, that's worth a point sometimes.
Not only that, but they've made sure to go to the extra point of removing Shedinja counterplay by getting one of the neutralizing Gasmons on their own team.
True, it's true.
Jevel said, I do agree. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't know how to round off the team towards the end. In that case, let's look at the top half. Let's discuss the top more. This is the second terrain team. Obviously, Pool 1 had the...
Yeah.
Also had E-terrain. Out of the 2 E-terrain teams, which one do we prefer?
I instantly like having mons that are off the ground and are not weak to it. You know, Jugular's notwithstanding, but that's not really supposed to be a ground switch in so much as one of your offensive pieces anyway. But like, Mega Latios especially, I think, works very well on this team.
This team can super swap into EQ, unlike the other one. Glaring Weezing can levitate. Vaporeon is just pretty bulky. Iron Jug before Terra, as you said, can do it. More like the threat. At least threatens to swap in. And Mega Latios, it just can't do it.
Yeah. I also appreciate. I think a lot of these ones are so much better outside of the terrain than Lexi's guys. Like again, shit like Mega Latios is like obvious, but I also.
I was actually going to say that I don't know if this team is taking as much advantage of terrain as Lexi's is.
This is. I kind of agree. I think what this team what this team does is like we have treads, yes, and we have bundle, right? We don't really
Yeah.
have an electric abuser, really, apart from like maybe Terra Iron Jugulus if you want to do that. But
I did
Could-
forget that
Terra?
Jugulus can Terra, which does
Yeah.
help a lot.
that does help because then you because
Well, I actually think Lexi's Terra Iron Leaves is probably the most ideal
Yes.
electric terrain to abuse possible.
Yeah, I agree.
I am surprised that 2 electric terrain teams spawned and neither of them took Boulder.
Yeah. I agree with that.
What I want to point out of his team, where are the physical attackers?
Well, that's what I was why I was talking about the Terra Iron Leaves.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's why that's part of why we've ended up with Diggersby Pikachu. Because
Yes.
but I don't know that Diggersby is I mean Diggersby is strong, but it's like how many points like it does objectively
probably
click
like-
very strong attacks. If you
Probably
ban the
like
Diggersby,
6-ish or whatever.
the
If
earthquakes
you
are
ban
breaking the shit out
the
of
earthquakes
it.
are extremely strong.
Stronger than definitely stronger than Azu, right? It's like got base 60.
It's got more attacks
It's
than
no,
Azu,
it's
yeah.
56.
Is it less? But it's clicking higher
No,
base power
ours is
moves, right?
50.
Oh yeah,
Ours
so
is
it's
50.
stronger and it clicks higher base power moves. So
Yeah.
although like the
Who's
normal
base
type ones are
Oh, is
more
it
resisted.
Metacham?
Metacham is
Metacham's
base
base
70.
60 attack.
Yeah.
It's 60? I thought it was 70.
Nah, it's 60.
But the fact that it's so slow, I think, means it's very unlikely that it's going to ever get to click more than one earthquake, right?
If it's
Um,
banded, I mean that seems.
Scarf,
You can
Scarf is a
find
decent
positions
threat.
for it, and Scarf is a decent revenge killer, but it does play into the. I mean, you're right. The physical attack is not there. The highest physical attack stat, obviously not counting huge power on this team, is Mega Latios.
Yeah, and it did run like mixed with earthquake.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
well,
Mega
that's
Latios has a high attack stat, as an objectively high attack stat. But it's like, that's why
It's
I
not
wanted
taking
to
stab
bring up
on
the
the
Terra
physical
Iron
side, and
Leaves
it's
and the lack of
mixed
Iron
more.
Boulder. I think one of those would have really not gone amiss on this team.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
probably cash in the
So what the,
budget guys into turning somebody into a leaf.
Oh, I mean, comparing it to the other electric terrain team, this one doesn't lean as hard into electric terrain, which comes with both its advantages and disadvantages of you don't get the ability to like try and instantly sweep someone with iron leaves or whatever. But on the other hand, this doesn't shoot itself in the skull when it sees a ground type.
That's true, and that's pretty big in
Yeah.
draft.
I think in general, I probably prefer this one because
Yeah.
I do appreciate that ability, but I would prefer this one a lot more if we got a good physical attacker
yeah.
that wasn't Diggersby, which
I think the physical
it's weird.
attackers on this team they're less bad than they are gimmicky, right?
yeah.
Which is the problem.
I might
think there
swap
was
the last
one-
4 for Iron Boulder.
That could do a
think-
lot.
Cash in
I think that would
Diggersby,
be
Pikachu,
smart.
Quilladin, Shedinja,
Mm.
and then keep Shedinja.
I mean, you do
for,
lose
like,
your
the one punch or
priority, but
whatever.
quite frankly, it's like I also think that the Boulder speed tier is really invaluable here.
Like 120 is right.
Yeah, it's 121. I
124.
think it's 124. Damn.
So we're bridging the number. That's another
Bridging-
thing between
yeah.
between 110 and 130. This is huge news.
But this Vaporeon is horrible. I hate it.
That's true.
Bundle
Bundling terrain
into-
has priority on every move. I actually was going to say something about that. This team's so fucking fast at the top end, you don't even need Who cares about priority, man?
I think
You're going
priority is
first
nice if it's on a priority on like a somewhat fast one, so that we can beat other priority ones in the priority war.
Alright, guy.
Alright, we've gone too far.
Now.
Yeah.
Leo. Oh, I don't like that the foot's here. Oh, I don't.
Get it out.
I don't like
Get
the
it
foot
out.
has carried over.
Oh no.
Can we like
oh
put
my
a
God.
mosaic over it?
This
God.
fucking freak.
I'm on view
Galarian
only.
Slowking into Freddy Fast Bell. We're doing it. It's going to happen.
Into Betic. Wait,
Yeah, that's Freddy Fast Bear.
Yeah, that's true. Round 1 pick Enam.
I don't love that. Don't love that.
But I think the rest of the team doesn't fall off. He stays relatively high in points
Yeah.
afterwards. Like Greninja, Kartana, Glowking, obviously. It's not like Enam is. I don't think Enam, despite being his round 1 pick, is the best one on the team. It's probably just.
I'm looking at this team and I'm seeing a Trick Room mode, and I'm concerned he might do it. That being said, the users are bad.
Are they?
Uniclus is
are
okay. Reuniclus is
A
good.
terror
Mega Sableye
Reuniclus
is not
too.
really a Trick Room user because it doesn't attack people for damage.
Hey, slow bear tick.
Slow Bear Tick is very
Slow Bear?
funny. Pretty slow bear. Yeah, the defog is defog on Katana and Rotom.
Yeah, it's mega.
Rotom's a
Rotom
good.
can
Rotom's a
defog
real
every
defogger.
week. Katana doesn't want
Katana,
to click
come on
her
now.
shit.
Katana's
Get a
not
job, dude.
defog.
Mega
We have
Sa-
one defogger.
Mega Sableye though. That's boss.
I
That's
like-
boss.
I like that this team exactly has 4 momentum moves. Fortunately, they're on the 4 best mons they could be on.
Glowking, Greninja, Swampert,
Swampert, Rotom, Heat.
Rotom. Yeah.
Volt Switch, U-turn, Flip turn. They're also all different ones. It's huge.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's colourful.
What did I get added for?
Only
Consi-
Steelmon on the team is
Consider
Katana.
Trick Room into
It's kind of lame.
Trick Room Chili into Slush Rush Bear Tick. Yes, I'm considering it. I'm considering
This is
it.
huge.
Wow.
Fast Bear, but in Slow Room. Thoughts?
Never let them know your next move.
Chilly reception into Snow Cloak Bear Tick and getting banned.
Ooh.
Chilly Reception into
We watched Close Combat moves.
into Swift Swim Bear Tick, and then set the rain with Bear Tick.
Yo!
I feel like you should, if you try and set sun in snow, it should turn into rain.
This is true.
That's true. That's true. Does anybody
that's like
have the
real life.
type chart for this team?
I do.
How's it look?
The Ghost Resist is Greninja.
Okay, and there are
Yeah.
2 weaknesses.
But they're 2 weaknesses that you are going to be bringing often. Now, Reuniclus is definitely tearing out of it.
And then Glaring
Yeah.
Slowking isn't weak to any special move, so...
That's all true. So in practice, who even cares?
In conclusion, Leo is a man of many contrasts.
The steel type on this team is Kartana.
Yeah, I was
so
about to say defensive.
you
He
know.
doesn't have a defensive steel, which might...
Does this team have exactly one flying resist, and it's Rotom Heat?
that is correct.
Yeah. I think flying resists in general are like a luxury, but that's a
There's not many weaknesses,
still-
though. He doesn't have like a fighting or a grass type he needs to be protecting from.
No.
Flying
The team is actually pretty sturdy against fighting. Those 2 quad resist do a lot, plus Mega Sableye.
We talked about the fast bet. I think that's a cool, cheap Terra Captain option. I think.
Yeah,
it's
I agree. I think there's definitely some weeks where that can come and do a lot of damage.
I
130
think
attack is a shitload.
and it puts like team builder pressure down on the weeks where it doesn't come.
Yeah, it can
Which
terra.
is
Yeah.
It can
appreciated.
Yeah, it can
It's
terrify it
exactly-
into-
For 5 points, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, you want like a situational. You don't want Quilladin. You want Terra Bear.
I don't.
I
Think
would say
people
enough of the
paid 5 points
Quilladin.
for Quilladin.
I would say enough of the Quilladin burial, but I fucking hate that little goblin.
In general, the Mega Sableye is doing a lot for this team as well. I feel. Obviously, the keeping hazards off. Hazards setting wise, his team has Pert and Greninja.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Obviously,
Glowking gets them
T-Spikes.
too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's a little mid, but
Pert can rock very often, but it means it's probably going to be rocking most of the time.
it also detracts from potential things you might want to bring. Like if you want to bring Assault Vest Pert, then you
Yeah.
don't really have a rocker, which is annoying.
yeah. And like was said, this team's removal is Cart and Rotom, and this is a team that actually really would rather not have hazards up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no team
Enam
wants
loves
hazards up,
having a free
but
team.
Enam, yeah.
Free items.
Enam really likes to not run boots. Glowking is fine running boots, but would appreciate not being able
He's
to.
just gonna lead
Rotom-
Mega Sableye every week.
Yeah, I mean it's a truth, Nuke.
But you have to lead it and leave it in a turn.
I've seen
Which-
Cross Moon click protect on Mega Sableye. All right, I believe in miracles.
Then you have to switch. Man, I don't know.
Then you gotta. Then you got to meet the parents.
Yeah.
Um,
We technically have a double regenerator, Cora.
Oh yeah. I think this team is good. I don't think it's earth-shattering. I don't think it's blowing me away, but it's definitely good and has some scary aspects and has some abusable aspects. It's just a decent draft.
My eyes
fine.
don't bulge out of my
I
skull
think
when
the
I look at
team
it, but
is
I'm like, yeah.
completely
sure.
fine, and I won't go a step further.
Yeah, it's fine, and that's probably represented by Randwin and Amorous.
Oh, I will say one thing, which is that if we don't bring Beartic,
Tiers on this team are not incredible.
I also think it's again we're dropping down from above 100 to like hell.
86.
None of
Yeah.
those guys are investing
It's
in
the
speed.
problem of there is no reason not to run Adamant or Modest on a base 100, which is a problem. I actually don't think it's particularly a problem in this draft, especially in this pool, but it's one of those things where it's like, if there was a Mega Medicham in this pool, it'd be
Yeah.
fucking licking its chops, because it gets
I
to
was
run Adamant
really-
every week.
I was really thinking about Mega Medi as like a thing I wanted to bring at some point, and
For
Tusk
what?
also stole that from me.
The one thing I can
Like
say-
a Mega Zard, a Mega
As-
Gardevoir, one of those types of demons.
As an additional thing, by the way, if Beartic does not come, our only serious physical attacker is Kartana. Because
Cool.
Swampert can hit hard with physical attacks, but it's not always running like any attack investment, right?
God, it's too fucking warm. I wish I was back in Wakefield with my AC.
You've not seen the Greninja, alright? That
I know it
Gunshot,
has attack.
I've not.
It does have gunk shot,
It gets
but you know.
SD.
Objectively, it doesn't have much less attack than it does special attack, but this is why I don't rate Greninjas that aren't Ash in Generation 9.
But having
It's the pool that's.
And by
it's
that,
the
I mean I
pool,
don't rate Greninja.
right.
having your
like-
one physical attacker have 180 attack isn't bad.
It isn't bad,
Yes.
but it's exploitable because, I mean, it's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can for everything else. If I just like have an assault vest, I'm kind of chilling. Like you can bring a couple of AV guys and you effectively wall like half of his serious threats.
Well, it's a point of order. It's actually a matter that his pure power on either side is not great outside of like 1 or 2 mons.
It's like Kartana and Enam are like the only breakers.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Enam,
Reuniclus has a lot of special attack too, but it's like that being super slow already limits it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it also often doesn't necessarily even it wants to run maybe more bulkier spread.
yeah. Especially I think on this team.
And like you said with physical, it's Kartana or bust unless we're bringing Beartic this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
And-
seems
and
straight
also-
up power is not.
Outside of Kartana, by the way, the other 3 like physical attackers are like water types. So
That's also true.
effectively, I know Beartic isn't, but like you know, like a water type effectively like that, like with a lot of health, kind of walls those 3
Terra Grasp.
Well, I mean-
or takes those
That's
hits
true.
fine. That's hey, I mean, is Beartic in this gen? It is. Yes, it does get Terra Blast.
Yep.
Huge. But yeah, anyway. So these are just asides. These are nitpicks.
Wait.
Yeah. Just an nitpick flicking at that. Also, this is an actual nitpick. The base HP values of this team are not good.
Rotom Heat with what, 50?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the seismic toss. Sorry, not seismic toss. The what's the ghost type
Nightshade.
version? of Seismic Toss? The Nightshade matchup is terrible.
It's awful. Kartana, Rotom Heat, Mega Sableye.
Yeah, you're getting chunked by Nightshade. It's over for you, Leo.
Alright. What's next? Super Pyrus. The speed is... I just looked at the speed.
What the hell?
Like
Fast.
last thing.
Did Super Pyrus fix the team in post like he said he would?
What was the problem?
What?
He wanted to give himself a Terror Captain. Because he
He did
also
not do that.
He also chose the wrong Thunderous. I think he wanted I.
Well,
He never did this.
that's
He never corrected the team. Alright.
Yes.
well. This is the team now. Unless you want to spend money on.
But I
fixing
think,
this.
yeah, he wanted to change Thunderous T to Thunderous I, and then Terra Valilligan. But That's not
Right.
what happened. So
Well, they
we'll
never
take,
said either of those things,
yeah,
so
let's
it's,
take what we
I
are.
can't read minds yet.
Fair.
Anyway,
Mon quality is really good. I like all of these guys.
I think
Mon quality.
objectively every mon is pretty good here. Yeah.
I don't think there's any. I think there's a single Mon where I'm like, I don't care about that guy. Like, overall, like I think these are all like sometimes like I don't look at any of these guys and I go, what the fuck? That's Quilladin. Why did you spend 2 points on on Quilladin? Sorry, I can't.
Yeah.
Rip it
Hey,
into this
hey,
two-pointer.
hey,
Theoretically.
player hater of the year.
Sorry, it's just it keeps coming. It's the first thing to mind.
I get it. You had the Terra Monkey Dory as well. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they just pop out.
You know what? I feel like I was super correct about that Terra Monkey Dory.
It was holding the whole thing together.
Yeah,
But-
holding it all the way down in 9th place. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. Lucas never gonna watch this.
Wow. Alright.
Whoa, talking crazy.
But with what we have,
It's fine. Lucas never gonna watch this bullshit.
what do we have here? Can somebody give us the matchup chart?
Sure. Well, I mean, first things first. We got to talk about the speed.
If I'm 120 speed, I'm in heaven. This is the
If I'm
best day of my
110
life.
speed, I'm
Oh
I'm
my
walking around
God.
swinging my dick around.
Thunder's Eye would have helped, I feel. However,
Garchomp is doing the 100-yard dash on this team.
Yeah. Well, frankly, I'm bringing Banded Garchomp into this shit, and I'm killing everyone.
This is comical.
Yeah, no, this is
I can
this
see
is real.
I can see why you might have wanted Thunderous Eye instead of Thunderous T.
in
that's neither
general,
here nor
though,
there.
the game plan is pretty just offensive. What are hazard setters? Dio, Landorus, full stop.
Dio's a good
Tentadrol.
one.
Yeah, Dio comes in, clicks spikes, and then you have to swap into Landorus, Urshifu, Banded Scizor, and then like AV, Primarina, and Boots Tentacruel are pivoting around.
It's funny that the answer to both Landorus and Urshifu single in this pool is Jevils Wheezing Galarian.
Well,
That
it's
is
gonna-
comedy.
Well, no, it loses to Psychic, which Landorus can carry.
True.
That's true, actually. You are correct.
No, Landorus is gonna Life Orbit chip itself down.
It's true.
That's
We just
true.
switch-
I mean, if it's also-
Yeah, nice sheer force, idiot.
I mean, if you went neutralizing gas, it would just
No,
quick air power.
don't bring that one up.
Air balloon. Air balloon.
Maybe they just forget how to read.
Yeah. I
Look.
I think this team needs Deoxys to do so fucking much for this to overcome these comical
Well, there's a
speedsters.
couple things. In contrast to Leo's draft, this team has unbelievable amounts of upfront power.
Yeah. We just-
Shifu, Landorus, potential like Banded Scizor, potential Specs, Primarina,
Yeah.
Thunderous Therians, Giga special attack stat.
Mm.
This thing is falls on the side of slapping you around as soon as it gets in. The problem is that anything with a decent foot speed will kill it first.
Yeah, the problem is access to that power, and Dio speed is like essential in like if Dio speed fails to get like screens up, it's over. If Dio
This
speed
team
doesn't
also, like-
T-weight every single mon, it's so over.
This team also takes hits generally quite poorly.
Yeah,
It's
anchored a
lot by the middle row.
Well, no. I was going to say, it's not necessarily it takes hits generally quite poorly, so much as it doesn't have anything that's particularly... Certainly on the physical side, Scizor is not as bulky as you think it is, I don't think. Regular Scizor.
It doesn't have that many stats. It's got like, what, 500?
Scizor has base 100 defense.
we're desperately
Which is
relying
not
on.
bad, but
Intimidate
it's like...
Arcanine.
We need Intimidate Arcanine to save the day.
Yeah. And like,
Intimidate
on the
Willow,
Spadef
trust the
side-
process.
We're
On the- on
bringing
the-
we're bringing bulky Morning Sun teleport Arcanine to as our pivot every
And then
time.
it's like, on the Spadef side, they're both waters.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's
So it's
true.
like, you can't even really bring both of them at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it's a good
But,
thing we have. It's a good thing we have the Thunderous T.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I
That's a
super
true
agree. The speed tiers are the you know, like again we don't even like we've got priority, which to some degree kind of fixes doesn't fix it, but it's
helps
slightly
a lot.
mitigating.
And it's good
Yeah.
priority. A Shifu's Sucker, Scizor, Bullet Punch, and it's what Terra Arcanine, right?
No Terra, no Terras, no Terra Captains.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't
the
have
no
one.
Terra Captains. We forgot to set those.
So the Arcanine Extreme Speed is less potent, but it's still there.
Has Superpower spoken since drafting ended?
No.
I think to Muse
No,
in DMs. To Muse in DMs.
Yeah, I pinged Muse saying to like let Angelos know about the like Terra Captain situation just in case he brings the wrong stuff.
This is
And
why...
she said like she's willing to try, or he's willing to try what he's already got, and we'll change it next week if needed. So
This would, I do respect that because my first thing when
I would have been inclined to say you can still set your Terra Captains.
No, because he doesn't
If
have
you
the
got
points
it
to.
was
he has no
budgets,
he has no
right?
points.
Yeah.
He doesn't have points to. He's broke
the
as
re-
shit.
He needed to make trades. But I do think like when I look at this team, I look at all these pieces and I'm like, I don't know what I need to give up. I mean, obviously like Lilligant, right? But
It's Lilligant Arcanine, I feel.
I don't think Lilligant's really doing much.
Or one of Tentacruel Prim.
I'd kind of want, I think I'd want to get rid of either Tentacruel or Prim, but then we lose a Fairy type or a Grounded Poison. That's tough. It's probably Tentacruel for but then we lose Spin, and then we don't have any fucking hazard removal.
It's Defoxes or Defog Landorus.
True.
And Defog Thunderous? I don't know. But neither of them love clicking the button.
Yeah, I mean, if this was Thunderous Eye, I'd be more okay with defogging. Because it's Prankster defog, so we're getting it. We're getting it every time.
It also just because of it has less power. It doesn't mind being a utility mon more often, especially with Prankster T-Wave and defog and stuff.
Yeah. So that would make some sense. And I think Tentacruel has to go for a different Grounded Poison. Hopefully, some hazard removal. Lilligant turns into some hazard removal of another kind. And then hopefully we find speed somewhere.
Does Lilligant get defog?
It might do.
Because I know Hisuian does.
He looks like the kind of creature that might. But yeah, again, like this Deoxys speed right now is the cornerstone of what this team will become, I think. Because it's again, it's so close to being something. This is like when I make a joke and I'm like, I don't have the wording yet, but the core concept is humorous, I think. This is how the feeling I get when I say that is how I feel when I'm looking at this team.
This team feels very close to success.
So that's why I said there's good quality here. There's pieces that would form a real team in some other permutation.
And obviously a Terra Captain would go a long way.
It would be nice.
Ew.
Oh, this disgusting bullshit. All right, so what are initial things I wanted to say about this? We got Golden Go, and then our only hazard setter is Dansey.
And Whiscash. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, all right.
What is up with the newcomers and drafting 3 completely pointless guys at the end of every draft?
Newcomer, explain yourself.
People whose first DDL is this season.
Wait, did it happen?
Who's to say where they're all from? Did
it happen? No, the last 3 months are good, apart from one of them.
To be fair, I traded out the last 3 months.
But yeah, like I mean, this.
Yeah, they were there.
The initial version did have 3.
Karen, it's because they're used to like 110 maximum points. We gave them extra points on what they're used to.
And they're like,
and they don't know what to do with them. They're like a dog chasing cars.
I was expecting to have to draft a Whiscash, and now I fuck.
All right, so let's
Regigigas was drafted for
fun.
Yeah.
For aura and hype moments.
Regigigas was drafted for fun because it doesn't lose you anything. You can't fault that. And we spent.
Well, no, you have to bring it. The rules are that you have to bring it.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't bring it, you get
to lose
qualified.
We drafted Whiscash because we like his smile and attitude, and we drafted Dugong because we thought it might deal with Palafin in some way.
No, it's gonna deal. No, it deals with Bundle, is what it does.
It does deal with Bundle. That's true.
Lord Bundulus.
Bundulus does.
Does this team lose that hard to bundle?
I wouldn't.
He had some extra points lying around. He had some extra points lying around.
Actually,
Latias, Zygarde,
so-
Rotom.
what were things I was saying? What were some of my initial impressions?
First impression.
Speed tiers are curious. Get that Regigigas out of my face.
That's a base 50.
Alright, well,
Don't worry,
in
I
that
said
case,
specs,
got that
boom boost,
They're
or
not
some shit.
horrible, but they are
that
curious.
Pheasantipity at 99.
Pheasant Shippity. What were the things I wanted to say? This team's physical attack stat is exactly Mega Lopunny.
And oh no,
Zygarde's not the
Zygarde's got
worst.
like base 100 or
Zygarde's
something.
actual stat isn't high. It just gets the ability to set up.
Yeah, really easily.
And
Yeah, that's
clicks,
true.
and gets to click a broken ass move, so it feels
Yeah,
feels very broken when you can't resist it.
We're at 100 clicking a 100 power rock type move, right, with the NC. That's not the worst.
that's true. But
we are
Diancie
looking
doesn't
at-
really want to come attack invested.
But yeah, when we're talking about, with Terra, it could.
It can.
Oh, I'd love to. Diancie as Terra Captain might be one of my favorites. This is awesome.
Well, I'm saying this
But yeah.
is why we need the seismic toss strats.
It's looking like. I mean, yeah, I get no, because the Golden Go.
Nightshade
We can't
strats,
bring seismic
Nightshade
toss.
Oh,
because the
true.
Golden Go
The
comes in.
Nightshade strats.
Oh,
The
Megalophony.
Megalophony. It's perfect counterplay.
It's perfect counterplay. I can't beat that.
You got to bring them both. It's the only. That's it.
Joe.
The top.
You have
like,
to run Deoxys Defense with Nightshade, seismic
in
toss.
general, though. Darkrai, Megalophony, obviously doing big offensive pressure. Rotomosh being a good pivot for him. Goldengo being also very offensive.
Is it our only hazard removal?
Rotom Latias.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Fez? No,
It's
Fez,
Rotom
it's a Gen 9
Latias.
one. It
Fez
does
is
not get the fire.
Yes.
Yeah, so Rotom's
It's
like
fun.
our only hazard removal, realistically. Which is fine. A Rotom can come every week and it can defog every week, but
Somehow this is a team that spreads even more paralysis than the previous ones we've seen.
yeah.
Darkrai, Goldengo, Megalophony, Rotom, Zygarde Glare.
Latias.
This is
Regigigas.
anti-synergy with our Pheasantipity.
No, it can be Technician now.
True. We're opening up for the Technician
Yeah,
Terra Flying Pheasantipity. It's true.
I don't love Diancie being the only hazard setter on a team with Golden Go.
I think it's homophobic during Pride Month to make both the fairy types have to Terra. That's not okay.
Yeah.
I also think that's true.
that's
Can we
true.
get a cancel Seppa going in chat?
Hashtag cancel Sepha.
I will say I don't know what precisely some of these mons are actually like doing here.
What is the vision for Whiscash?
Why is Latias on this team?
Latias.
I guess we saw the points. We saw it was still there, and we saw we had the points, and we were like, I guess.
The speed is
I feel like
nice.
offensively a lot
The
of
speed
these
is
ones
nice.
don't complement
Speed is
each other.
nice.
I think also we'd be ground weak, wouldn't we? Without it.
I guess, yeah. But I mean, Rotom is good enough, frankly.
Is Rotom good? Yeah,
Rotom is good
Diancie
enough.
totally
Dance is tearing out of that weakness every week anyway.
Yeah, and
Goldengo.
frankly, this Rotom is coming every week. There's
Yeah.
no permutation of 6 that doesn't include a Rotom.
I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna throw out the word. This is the Skinwalker draft.
We had a
Got
good
the
round.
Skinwalker draft
I don't think
award.
this is-
Word.
I don't think this
I
is a Skinwalker
love
draft because I
those
wouldn't want to call
words.
this good in the
I'm
first.
gonna throw out a buzzword. I'm gonna throw it out.
I don't think this is a bad draft. I'm just
No.
confused.
I don't think
Something
it's
looks
actively
off.
good.
I think the Latias is what. I think the bottom two rows
think-
is what looks up.
I think this is like the evolved version of Super Pirates draft, where it's the mon quality is so high it can't be bad.
Yeah. But again, it's a confusing.
Darkrai, Golden Go,
selection.
Megalophony, Zygarde, Rotom Wash. It's like you can't be bad with all of these mons.
It's like we've drafted things that like imply synergies and then not drafted the synergies.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, because like offensively is you've got like Zygarde, but you don't really have any real way of like super effectively dealing damage to like bulky grass types. With this one move which is gonna click.
Yeah, that's very true.
No
There's,
fire,
yeah,
no
Zygarde now has to deal with the grass types by clicking not
It's
the,
gonna
the
click Sludge
one move
Wave.
it
Right,
really wants to click.
it's gonna sludge wave. Yeah, it's gonna sludge wave.
It's gonna sludge wave. We've got like all this paralysis running around, and then we
I mean,
also
yeah, it's
have
like it's the one I
Pheasant
keep I keep bringing up of like it's Golden Go but without really good hazard setting.
Exactly, Golden Go, but with Diancie having to hazard set every time. It's weird.
It's just I'm just confused by a lot of it.
Yeah. We were just sort of
But then
walking around putting things in the basket.
But then I think we've put much more thought into this than Sepha did.
Yeah.
Yo, every time it came to Sepha's turn, he was like, "Yo, let me look at the board real quick. Let me find out what the rules are.
Like,
Read
I
the
don't-
rules."
Literally,
let me
you were like,
consult
I
my
don't know, man.
consult My Ouija board.
Every fucking time.
All right.
Let me ask my Magic 8-Ball what I'm supposed to get.
Is this the least draft? No, this is still a Jester draft.
Yeah, we took Iron Boulder. Of course, this is a Jester draft.
He loves that guy. He loves Annihilate, Iron Boulder, Flygon, Mana. These are some Jester guys. We're doing low tier at the bottom.
I thought Jester was moving on from Taunty at the earliest convenience. I'm very surprised to still see that guy there.
When else did he use it?
Why would he be moving on from it at the earliest convenience? It was his first pick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he just wanted to like get the points, and then he didn't care because he asked me like what I was taking. I could go up and find the message.
I'm gonna
Hang on.
punch you. I'm gonna punch
I
you
can
in
get
two.
the message. Yeah. I mean, fuck it, punch me too. Who
Was going
cares?
to
I
pick
know.
Oh, he was
You
going to
both
pick
making me listen to
Spectria.
this stupid shit.
I see.
So he picked the
Oh my
second
God.
fastest special attacker. I don't know.
Why did we get
Except he
Terrazatu?
didn't. That's not true. He didn't. But Spectria isn't even the fastest special attacker at the high end of the board.
Terrazatu, so you don't have to be a psychic flying type, and you can still swap in. I don't know what.
And so we can bring the Zatu. I mean, it's not important because it's Jester drafting, but I do like the top four. The top four imply a very strong team.
Yeah.
I have
Wow.
the message.
Wow. Let's get real. Let's get the Flygon out of here.
I like Manaphy.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, you mean
Flygon
Taunty,
could be
Tinglu,
canonized.
Annihilate, Iron Boulder.
He did
Oh
say
yeah.
fall.
Taunty, Tinglu, Annihilate, Iron Boulder is like. Well, no, I was looking at the speed tiers.
Yeah. Taunty, Tinglu, Annihilate, Iron Boulder like suggests
Implies
that
something. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the implication.
it's the implication. But then we get then we I don't know what starts happening.
It starts
Like-
melting into sludge.
Then it's like, okay, well, it's time to pick up another special attacker, and Manaphy's a cool one because it's like, yeah, that's a good like bulky water. This team kind of needed that. It's got set up, which is cool because this team cashes in on the hazards that Tinglu will be setting for us. But and Magnezone is our steel type, I guess. Roserade is here
I
for
guess.
some reason. There's a Snorlax too, I guess. He came. I don't know what the process. I don't know what the thought process is on the bottom row. I don't understand why they're here. But the top, I guess the
Alright,
top
wait.
6 minus the Flygon make a lot of sense.
Let's make
to me.
sense of it. Snorlax is Spit Death.
Is it okay? Yeah, I guess it is.
Okay,
And,
that's true. We have a Tinglu,
Yeah, we don't need that.
okay, Roserade is
and worst comes
Spikes.
to worst,
Ting,
Vest up that Tornadus.
it is a Spadefmon that is immune to Ghost. Tinglu is one of the best Ghost resists you could hope for, and it is weak to fighting. It's so redundant with Tinglu. I don't get it. What is the unique support that Snorlax is giving you, brother?
Zatu is the only Mr. Potential here.
The unique support of Snorlax is doing all the things Tinglu does, but worse.
It doesn't do any of the things Tinglu does. It does one thing Tinglu does.
It does
I don't
by doing
think-
some of the things Tinglu does, but this one resists fire and ice.
Thickest of fats.
The
Mhm.
thickest of fat. Were you weak
It can
to,
be
to
immune
ice?
to
And
top-
I guess you were weak to ice because you have a Flygon, a Tornadus, a Tinglu, and a.
Well, as a point of order, looking at the matchups chart with the Snorlax, it is a -3 ice weakness.
Okay. I don't know that Snorlax is going to be coming to resist like physical ice mons. And I guess
doesn't.
that's
None of us don't
Mana-
exist. Nobody
I mean,
picks
it
up
does.
G-Down.
but-
There's
I
not a
guess.
Weepal running around. There's not.
But like, yeah, it's
It's
definitely
different.
not super premium ice resistance. But I mean, picking good ice resistance is hard enough in the first place, and then like one of them is Magnezone, I guess.
Yeah.
Who
And
cool.
Manaphy.
Uh,
I don't
I don't
hate
hate Magnezone as
Roserade.
a mon. I don't know
Roserade
why.
having what, 130 special attack? It gives it
That's
some
less, that's
presence.
like 125, isn't it?
Maybe.
90 is a fun speed tier if we didn't. If we
Yeah,
actually
it's
needed it.
125.
But yeah, and its coverage is kind of shit. Is the other part.
It's
of the
It gets
problem.
Shadow Ball
The team has-
Gleam, right?
It does get Shadow Ball Degleam, but
Yeah.
it just has no way to hit Steel type very well. It's like Shadow Ball is not strong.
No.
Shadow Ball is just not strong.
Flygon can hit the banded Terrabug first impression. That can do things.
I can do things. I'm not saying Flygon's like a terrible mon. I
am.
actually,
I think
I
it's a
think-
decent Terra Cap because it can set up.
I think,
It
Yeah,
stinks
I
of
think
poopy
for-
dog shit.
I think
I
it's.
think for the cheaper
you're
ones.
getting it as a Terra Cap.
Yeah.
And I think this team would. I mean, I don't know. We have Iron Boulder Magnezone, so I guess we appreciate the Levitate, but
Well, what are some things? This team has very good hazard setting. I mean, Ting Lu is the greatest hazard setter ever.
yeah, it's incredible. And then we have like Annihilate to go
Flygon.
like, long on this
Roserade.
like, situation. Yeah, that's true. We got like pretty good pivoting, I think.
No,
Yeah,
pivoting's solid, yeah.
It's
It's
Torn,
strong,
8,
actually, yeah.
Flygon.
Manaphy.
get pass? Yeah.
Manaphy
Yeah.
gets
they
flipped.
get
then.
flip. Fuck.
Yeah, this is a team that like
Magnezone
looks.
can teleport.
It can.
Oh, I know that
'Cause
because
it
Magnus has
evolves from-
teleported.
Yeah, it evolves from
It
Magnezone.
also gets Volt Switch, but it
Yeah.
can teleport.
So,
Zatu
like-
also can.
Jester said
can-
it was the fastest DD Terra user on the board.
Sure, I mean, I guess
I believe him.
it's for what that
I
counts.
mean, I
to.
suppose
yeah,
that is true.
that's true.
Terra Electric has no weak.
Has no weak. So our fire resists are what, like Manaphy, Snorlax?
Boulder.
Oh yeah, Boulder, I guess. Yeah.
I'm looking at the water type and I'm looking at this team. Flygon's neutral. Manaphy's
Roserade is
not
not resist.
bulky, and Roserade doesn't have.
It doesn't resist
Fizz
the
Def.
physical side. Yeah, I tried so hard against the Rain team in low tier to make like Poison Point, like Fizz Def Roserade thing, and it just couldn't. Every calc made me sad, and I was like, okay, well, we're not doing that.
I think there's a lot of good mons here. I think there's some pretty okay synergies between some of them. At the
Yeah,
end,
I've
end is
seen
where we enter the
some
Jester
of this
zone,
before.
but like they're not bad mons. They can
I
definitely.
will say this team doesn't have much status going for it or item removal. The knock is, I mean, it's Taunty and it's Manaphy, so it's like he just like me for real. And then the status is exactly, I mean, Magnezone and Zatu can both T-Wave.
Does Roserade get
Snorlax can
stun spore?
yawn. No.
No, oh, that's
Is
unfortunate.
Stunspore not mentioned? Is Stunspore on the dock?
It might not be actually. I think it does get stun spore.
It does get Stunspore.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does
It's
get
just
stun
Alright,
not
this
on the
dock is dog shit.
Oh, and it gets sleep powder. I know it gets sleep powder.
This dock fucking sucks. Why does it exist?
It's only giving you like the good ones. It's not giving you the dog shit status.
It
move.
puts yawn on here.
I think that's better than stun spore, but who's to say?
Big,
not
big
bad.
phasing.
All right.
It's poop versus shit at that point.
Alright. Anyways. But yeah, my item removal ain't great here. Does Roserade get corrosive gas?
No.
That is a no.
Okay.
I know the dock has corrosive gas
It-
on it because
yeah.
it does for wheezing.
Alright.
It's not poison types don't get it. It's sentient clouds of gas that get it.
Wicket. Yeah. What do we think of Wicket's
Uh,
guys?
I don't
We should
like
kill
it.
you. Your hubris should be punished harder. TBO.
Hyper Giga
we should kill you.
Hypnostasis?
Are you going Wicket? Are you going to have fun with this?
I promise
Well,
you.
yeah,
will.
because he's going to get to read what everyone says when they have to
You
prep
need
for
to
it every week.
understand. Wick, like,
This team builds
gets an
itself
erection
every
when he
week.
sees
You know,
Palafin.
I get you have a job, so I guess this makes sense. But like, this is a very
Does he?
employed
I
draft.
don't believe this.
It's not real. It's not real enough to warrant an employed draft.
This is an incredibly employed draft.
Both
And you
Bascu-
want to combine that with Wick's evil magic on
Both
Zapdos. Just get
Basculegions
ready for that shit,
though.
folks.
Basculegion or Mega Swampert?
It's both Basculegions. The doc, I have female and
Yes.
male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of these two? Which Swift Swimmer do I bring? What a decision.
Yeah, I don't know. I drafted Palfin
Glacial
Zapdos,
Titan.
and then didn't want to literally copy my last draft, so I decided to take it down.
Can we talk about
the
how
right
Wick hates
direction.
gay people?
Huh?
That's true.
Let's look at pick number 3.
Let's talk
Pride
about
Month?
this. Speak on that.
You're really making.
In Pride Month.
Yeah,
Hmm.
come on. And you drafted Deku, and we know how he feels. Yeah, I just. Ugh. If there is a thing, it's like outside of the rain, the speed is poo poo pee pee. The speed is
poo
from
poo
above.
pee pee in rain. Anything with base like I think I ran the numbers. Anything with like 120 speed or more, just outspeeds me with scarfs. So in my current matchup against Iron Bundle Coco, both of them can outspeed me if they want.
That's a rough
Iron-
matchup.
no, Iron-
to be
this is-
outsped by everything.
No,
That
this
Oh,
is-
you know what
guy
actually
is
is
coming for
also
your
rough?
entire career.
Fucking... So if, say, Tornadus Therian were to run a scarf and get 100% accurate hurricanes.
You know, there are definitely some things. I'm on the fence about picking up Barry Scooter, because it steps.
No,
on...
that's what what I think will solve this draft is a Swift Swim physical attacker in rain. I think that is what you're
no,
missing.
but that's like an actual fast one. I mean, I drafted Rain. I have to accept the weaknesses that come with it. I've drafted the best version of Rain because I have an Archie on it, which should be fixing all of Rain's problems.
It's true. I mean, he doesn't resist ice, unfortunately, and the
Archie,
freeze
Archie.
dryer is coming.
No,
for
yeah,
you
the
this
but
week.
I've got the Iron Bingle into me this week,
Yeah.
and it's feeling rough.
I don't know what you. I genuinely don't know what you do.
Bro, I ran some numbers. Ferrothorn and Arch can both get free hit KO'd, so they swap in once.
This is big.
Clefable dies to
Alright.
Hydro Pump. It's Jove.
It might be Jove.
But
Well, Fable's gonna
Yeah,
dip
I'm
up
sure.
and dodge.
yeah, this is just Rain.
It's true.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Do you have like a secret ghost resist lying around somewhere?
I was wondering about that myself.
No, my secret ghost
That's
resist.
Legion's gonna Terra Dark.
My Basculegion is gonna Terra Ghost, outspeed them with Swift Swim, and then kill their ghosts.
Did I draft a ghost type? This might be useful later.
What about Wick? What about the evil and intimidating horse in your pool?
Oh,
It's a good. Hey,
Don't
at
think
least you
about the
don't
horse.
have to play the Dragapult. That's not
true.
happening.
I think I dodged it.
You did dodge.
Oh
it.
man, I didn't draft a ghost. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. Palafin Rain sounds so fun, but I think Palafin's currently looking like the most disposable on this team.
I've had this thought before. Where it's like if you're drafting all these rain pieces, Palafin I think ends up being redundant a lot of the time because it's like the numbers are high enough in the rain that like shit like Mega Swampert hits as hard as Palafin normally hits if it's clicking water moves. So what's Palafin for? Because it's faster than him, and the priority is not probably what you're trying to click in the rain. Like
Palafin,
We'll
you
see how it
go
goes.
to,
We'll see how it
I
goes.
challenged her. I crash on her way.
yeah,
I
I
I'm-
Hydra.
I'm just here to listen
I go
while I play
from
Overwatch.
0 to her hero.
True
Ah.
freak.
Goat
Oh.
meal.
Goat meal.
Ah!
I raised
Yes,
this
okay.
point to.
All right, so before so I would like to extend a formal word of like warning of this is the first draft they've been in, and unlike say other players or whatever, it's not just their first draft, but they're extremely new to Pokemon,
Yeah, for Pokemon experiences, Pokemon Go and Wolfie VGC videos.
and maybe like 3 hours of Ranbat. It's like nothing. So with that having been said, this is some dog shit.
It
No.
turns out the beginning of draft, when you are pinged to make your pick, is not the best time to start learning how draft works.
Yeah, all of that having been said, waiting until the draft has started to go, does anybody know how to draft? Can anybody tell me how to draft? You could have done this a while ago. You know, you asked to join our draft league like 2 months ago, actually, when we weren't running them. You could have done this at any point.
Yeah.
I,
Frankly,
I,
the week that the board goes up and everyone goes, this is the board we'll be using, is a good time to start thinking about what you might potentially want.
yes.
Well, I do.
Yeah, and that really worked out well for you this time, huh?
We shall
You
see.
know what, actually, that really worked out well for you in your first draft league, huh?
It didn't work out for me in any of my draft leagues, I'll be honest. All of my drafts have been average to below average.
I don't think that's true. Your last one was definitely good.
Oatmeal just does, like, we're not going to be gapping for a while, so you better hope your draft is fucking good.
So the speed tiers, in terms of speed tiers, we have no speed tiers.
We have poop from a butt. We have save me Blaziken, you need to double protect. Please hit the double protect Blaziken.
Save my bitch, brick, bro.
We're bringing Scarf Blaziken.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
There's some stuff that, like, I think there's, like, some stuff that, like, is
terms of
conceptually
bulk,
kind of cool. Like,
we have
Tapu
Bronzong.
Lele Blaziken is a concept. This makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get that.
I was going to say Gyarados and Lando T for the double Intimidate. Feels like that could be the whole shit blender pre-Mega.
Yeah, Mega Gyarados is another setup guy too. That guy is so fat for no reason. It's so funny.
Yeah, like making someone -2 on top. Oh, we're in the dungeon.
We had Terapagos Lele. It's like, okay, we have our special attackers. But let me just go in for like one more at the end. Let me get the Gengar.
Widow's hacking. Widow's hacking.
Shut up.
My fault.
Who's fucking
Tommy,
strapped?
I'm literally gonna mute you if you say anything about Overwatch again.
It's not a real fucking game.
I meant Black Widow from Marvel. But
That might be worse.
You try and take that tone with me again, suddenly one of your mons is gonna get banished into the ether.
And some Greg Davies shit.
as long as you don't take like, I don't know.
We're starting from the top.
Yeah, you should say the mon you don't want to get rid of. You should say it out loud.
You should take. I'm going to give it to me.
Can you like not get rid of Dragapult?
It is just lying.
I'm adding a wild... Yeah, I'm adding a Gorbis to your team as we speak.
Can someone with the prep doc open, like, remove the Litten and then tell me what the average attack stat is on this team? Because
I've already done that, and the average attack stat is actually high as balls. It ends up being
no
109 because it's dragged down by like Gengar
and
Bronzong actually has more than Lele.
That's funny, but yeah,
Like it's very similar. But then it's like Lando T, Blaziken, Mega Gyarados, Ogerpon.
like we don't need this many. We don't need this many.
This is just greedy.
Guys.
This is just greedy.
I don't think that this is like. I think if someone with experience who'd played draft before made this, I would say greedy. I think the word is ignorant. We just do not know what we need on a team, and we have built the team by committee with people who weren't really paying attention to what we were doing, and then we did also have to find room for Litten, because we said we would.
Find room. It's 1 point.
It's tax evasion.
That's true. I just think that wanting to have 1 point left for Litten might have explained why we have Gengar at the bottom instead of some other shit. I don't know.
Sure, whatever, man.
It don't matter. Like
It doesn't matter.
some of this has got to go.
We gotta look.
I don't know
we
where
gotta-
we begin.
Where do we begin with this? Alright. Here's the play. Why is Ogerpon on this team?
Yes, Ogerpon's got to go.
I was gonna raise a kind of funny point of I think pre-Terra Bronzong is the thing in between Swellow clicking Boomburst 6 times and ending the game.
Nah, Mega Gyarados eats one. Dragon Dance's up. Oko's next turn.
Fuck, you're right, actually. That one has 1,000,000 HP. Never mind.
Not
Hammer has
outspeed.
95 HP. Oh, a +1
Frankly,
it will.
Blaziken clicks protect and then flare blitzes you next turn.
I don't think the average attack stat is high enough. Maybe get rid of a spinner for another physical attacker.
This is true. Yeah. No, I actually.
I
Actually,
agree.
You, could trade,
I
you
agree.
might be able to trade with Leo to get Kartana. I think that would solve a lot of your problems.
We can maybe try and fit a Hooper Unbound onto this somewhere. A
I think
Haxorus
so.
might help.
Maybe
Rampart
Mega
has-
Gyarados is pretty good, but I think you could do with like a Mega Heracross.
Yeah. Like
I think we
okay,
should allow
Alright,
both.
wait, guys.
Jokes aside-
I was about to say, Obiel's actually going to watch this VOD and probably try and learn from it.
Okay,
So we
yeah,
need to
okay.
give him real criticism.
On the
Okay.
being helpful side, okay. Right now,
no,
I'm not
8
looking at
hours of run back today until you figure it out.
Alright,
I'm
Tommy,
looking at
we can
this
get you going.
draft.
Bommy, I'm going to mute you.
I am assuming our ghost resistances are like ghost and dark like probably look pretty rough because Lele is our fairy and that's not that's not a
Terrapagos Gyarados.
Terrapagos Gyarados are
they're
holding
like
everything together.
Extremely okay. Our Ghost
Yeah.
and Dark resistances.
They're really good. Okay, I guess
No,
probably
they're,
okay.
they're okay. I said okay.
I got a bit ahead of myself.
Water has a very free time into this team because Gyarados does not
Water
want to swap into
free.
a Scald, and
Yeah.
Ogerpon and your grass type is neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think I genuinely don't know why Ogapon is on this team.
yeah, Ogerpon has to go. But who else has to go? Someone else is going to have to hit the chopping block because we need
One of Gyarados or Blaziken has also got to go, I think.
yeah, and I don't think we can drop the Gyarados. I think the Gyarados is holding a lot
Either
of
that
together.
or it's got to be one of Terrapagos or Lele.
I like.
Oh,
those.
you
like
can't drop the
those two.
Terrapagos. It's too useful,
I think Terrapagos is too useful.
and I think we already have enough
Well,
physical attackers. So
Because I don't think we're getting really much better value out of the Gengar slot than the Gengar itself, is the thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. So
So
it's like
probably Cornerstone
Oger-
Blaziken.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
like so then we need speed control and we need like some other defensive piece, right? Because I think speed
Yeah.
control is one of the things that this draft desperately. We get Meowscarada.
Is Meow running around? Cornerstone for Meow.
Meow is still open in this pool, so Cornerstone Blaziken gone, Meow in. That looks better. The speed it immediately is improved, and then I don't know some defensive shit. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah, you have a bunch of extra points lying around for defense mons you could get. Let me see the types again.
Petch.
No,
but you probably can't afford Petch and Meow actually. Wait, how much was?
That's more.
Wait, how much was the
Blaziken.
speed booster? Oh, 16.
Why would you want? Why
No,
would we want
I
pet?
was just wondering how much Blaziken was. I was just looking at bulky guys.
Oh, does this team have a grounded poison? It doesn't, does it?
It has Gengar.
It has Gengar. Oh yeah, it has Gengar.
Oh
It has
yeah,
Gengar.
Petch is crazy. Petch is crazy talk economy. Scar?
Yeah.
What's your steel type?
I thought you said
It's
Pex.
Bronzong.
Bronzong's quite a good one.
Bronzong's competent at being a steel type.
Yeah.
It's a steel type that can choose to be neutral to fire or immune to ground. You don't get a lot
What
better.
is it?
than
Like
that
a
in terms of
Uxie?
resist.
Like a
I
fairy?
feel like I would have said like a. Alright, Uxie
got
like a
Uxie.
fairy. What
no,
the
I
fuck
meant
are you
like
talking
a pixie.
about?
I meant like a pixie. I meant like a late guardian.
I would have
That's my
said
fault.
like something that resists water would probably
Oh
be
yeah,
quite good.
definitely. Tangrowth?
I was actually going to suggest maybe like a Tangrowth or something like that.
Because
Would it be
Meow-
Meow Tangrowth?
Mm,
No, that's true. Actually, I forget that Meow is the thing we were looking at the top end.
But it's not like a water resist, so
it's
could
not-
be Gudra.
Are there any? Is Hoodra running around?
Gudra's running around.
'Cause
Hudra's
you-
running around.
What other speed control exists if you did want to get Meow? That isn't anything, right? Cinderace?
That's why. That's what. It's,
Cinderace.
Cinderace?
Blaziken for Cinderace. I mean, it's hazard control, I guess.
Should I take that?
Yeah, I think I'd do that just because the hazard control
Wait,
right
yeah.
now is.
Blaziken
Dire.
into Cinderace and then
Hmm.
sort of bulky water resist. Hisuian
Well,
Gudra
so-
or Tangrowth or something like that.
Oakapon Cornerstone frees up 14 whole points. You could get like a fucking Volcanion for that. You don't need
literally
2
could
fire
get
types.
Volcanion,
Oh wait, hang on.
but-
You could get Volcanion.
Mega Venu.
You could get Mega Venu.
That's a
Oh,
cool
wow.
mon.
Wow.
Across Moon has typed
couldn't
into
be.
chat. Gastrodon, if you want strong speed control, you can go for priority. Low Kizzy.
Okay, but we need
Why-
actual
No,
speed
we need
stats
actual
too.
speed. Moon, not everyone is like.
No.
There's a reason why
Moon,
you're one
you
of the
gotta-
only people who drafts like teams that cap out at like 80 speed. It's because speed is a good stat.
My fault.
Arguably the best one.
I didn't learn that this time round. I've gone for the no speed approach.
Yeah, because rain isn't real. Rain isn't real. Yeah.
It isn't.
Speed, the
Bundle
no
and-
speed in question.
Bundle and Coco are gonna wipe me.
Hey, Scarf Pulp beats his whole team.
Ah, my draft loses to the 19-point mon. Ah, like shut up, man.
Because I am
Need
the only
HP
one.
to survive the winter. Well, look, this team needs a lot of things.
Low key. Is there a world where the Oakapon Cornerstone turns into like something completely off the wall, like Komodo or something?
Wait.
I think you need to fix the speed, right? But
Well, the idea is that we'd be getting like Cinderace as well.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Blaziken is
Cinderace
turning
is
into
cool.
Cinderace in this.
So what? Ogapon, Blaziken, Cinderace. So then we still have like two. I feel like we still have a shitload of.
No, it's
different
exactly
varieties.
Cornerstone, because Blaziken and Cinderace are the same cost. So it's exactly 14
and then-
points.
Cornerstone to Komodo. How many points is Komodo?
14 points.
14 points. That's 1-to-1 again. So that's 2 trades. And then what does that do to the type chart?
Oh god, I don't know. Fucking whatever.
What does that do to everything?
This team doesn't have a dragon, which actually explains why maybe it doesn't want to swap into water and like fire moves and stuff.
I was gonna say it makes a problem out of fairy types, right? Because like Mega Gyarados is dark, and then you'd picking up like Cordweave.
Cinderace is resist, Bronzong
We've got
exists.
Cinderace, we've got Gengar, we've got Bronzong. We're actually chilling.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
we've got ways of
I
getting
guess
around.
I guess
fairies.
Pretaria's fine.
This also
What
puts
does
us in
that
a
do to
world
the
where
type
our
chart?
rocks are still good. We don't have spikes now that we've lost Ogapon, but who care?
Spikes are good,
If
but
you
they're
wanted,
not.
you can change.
absolutely
You can
needed.
change Blaziken into Masquerada, and then you'd have to downgrade Cornerstone by 1 point. If you wanted
Yeah,
to
is
keep
the other option.
spikes, but
I don't.
Which
I
is
don't
still
know,
like
spikes me out.
you can-
all that bad.
I mean, Blaziken into Cornerstone isn't bad in and of itself, and you can get like, what type holes would we have? We had Blaziken into Meow, and then what would we be missing? So that solves our actual speed problems.
Buzzwole.
I
We
I
don't
didn't
need
think
physical
about
attackers.
Lord Buzzingtons. And what? No, we must have more physical attackers. We must.
We must maintain the 120 average attack agenda.
Loki, I like a dragon. I like the sound of a dragon.
I like the sound of
Haxorus! Haxorus! Alright, either way, we gave Oatmeal some ideas. We're not gonna make his draft for him, but there's
Yeah.
definitely some real ideas there, and there are definitely some... Our criticisms are mainly down to your speed and your bulk, relying a lot on this Bronzong and, like, Lando. Both
You-
of
you
which
have-
can be worn down quite easily.
You have what you have done here is you have selected like 8 selfish ass attackers, and you're hoping Bronzong can make a team out of them, and he's just not that kind of coach. So you've selected 7 selfish ass attackers, and you were hoping that Bronzong could make a team out of them, and then Litten is also here.
But yeah, not bad. Not a bad draft for the first attempt at all. My first draft was much worse than this.
This isn't true. I've
And
seen your
now-
first draft. I was in that fucking draft
No,
league, dude.
mine was worse.
No,
mine was
Why?
worse.
Why?
Mine
I
was
think
worse.
this is pretty poor.
A.R. Moody.
Yippee!
I was
Rid of his underdog gimmick.
coddling him. He's not 10. He's a grown man.
Most sniped draft award. Shit was really insane. Well, I don't hate what I've got here. I think this fun.
我看不出它这个价格有啥变。
I'm
Oh.
saying yes.
Max, speak your shit.
What the fuck? What is everyone laughing at?
Just random
Bobby's like
interjection.
mum yelling at him in the background.
Oh, I muted him.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
no.
You missed that.
You missed some incredible Chinese shouting. Alright.
I've been saying.
Yeah, Moody, explain yourself.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, wait. Before that, explain yourself without creaming your trousers over Swallow.
Okay. That's taking about 1,000 words off of my essay. Anyway, there's a lot of mods here which are like.
Moody was this close to breaking the 8 in a day record.
It really was. Shit was kind of insane. Every time I was uploading a new count, that was a goon burst. So yeah, I decided Mega Sizzle's coming home because I realized I fucking loved that mon, so I just wanted to use it again. Beyond that, I'll see if I can find the image of my original draft, but it was like there was like a lot of mons. I was like, "Fuck, these are cool. How many can I slot on a team at once?" And then I just kept getting sniped. So I ended up with mons that I did want to use. Not quite sure how much I wanted to use them right now, but yeah, I think this looks fun. I'm going to get rid of Latios. That's gone. But Zeraora I enjoy.
Why?
Mega Sizzle I enjoy.
What did he do?
Feeny seems.
for?
I was gonna say Latios is doing some heavy lifting right now.
What?
Well, I was blowing Latios' head off and then getting Terror Azov in this hypothetical.
Why?
Because I think Terror Azov just hits harder immediately, because I could just, like, Terror into something and click a button.
Clicking
I don't know.
Dracos in Misty Terrain might feel bad, to be fair.
I don't understand. What is he talking about?
I wanted that to be a Latias.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what? That is true. The Dracos in the Misty Terrain, the Earthquakes from the Crocodile in the Grassy
Drop
Terrain. We've
it.
drafted
Fucking
Terrain, and we have
Dracos.
Misty Terrain Glamora. We have maybe some of the worst terrain support I've ever seen on a draft. May I say?
Yeah.
Doesn't see the Vision Award. That was originally a Latias. Yeah.
This is all very interesting, but the problem is it's a bit too understandable. Could you peek your mic a little more when you say that's next?
I'm lying in bed on my phone. My bad, gang.
Yeah, stand
Let
up.
me see if-
Stand up when you're
Ooh, I'm back.
Stand up when I'm talking. Yeah, Bobby. What the fuck was that shit about, dude?
Huh?
He thinks he's back. Does he know?
Bomby thought shit was thought no one noticed. Thought no one would notice. Right, hang on.
That was someone else's mum yelling at them in Chinese.
Right, let me get on my phone, out my earphones.
I would say
Let me
this draft
switch.
is pretty physical biased right now because Feeney's not incredibly strong.
Fine.
Latias can't click Draco very often.
Oh, now I'm unmuted.
Not too
Okay.
much. Not too much on Glamora. Not
Glim
too
is
much.
Yeah, no.
I'm a Glim Shady
Not too
believer.
much on Glam Shady. Apart from that, you're right. It is very physical bias.
Zeraora is like mixed.
Zeraora is not anything.
Zeraora is a mixed
nothing.
bag of shit.
Hey, Zeraora, dude.
It can do no damage physically, and it can do no damage specially.
Bulu
It's
is
up to you.
big and strong. Sizzle's big and strong. Crook is big.
Aura is a spin blocker. Never forget.
Not
It
on
is
this
true.
draft, because we were just switching in on the toxic spikes
Cricket
and
is big
when
and
the
strong.
Misty
Wait,
terrain comes back.
Curiosity speaking here. How much base attack do you think Crocodile has?
I said Crook is big. I didn't say
One
strong.
ten.
I actually specifically did not add strong at the end
Is he,
of Crook.
is he that big?
I said
Is he
he's
that big? Is he that big?
Ah, the Intimidate makes him bigger.
Crocodile is, I would say, large.
He gets like
He's not-
117 attack, is it?
He's
It is, yes.
not-
It's
Oh
exactly
shit!
117.
I pulled. Oh god, that's sad.
That's really
Why
sad.
I
That's
remember-
so
why do I
incredibly
remember-
sad.
That's really
My
sad.
condolences.
Insane,
Crocodile.
poll.
Crook is like most of the way there in like every stat, apart from Spadef. It's like most of the way to being bulky, but not all the way. It's not actually bulky. It's most of the way to being strong, but it's not actually that strong. And it's most of the way to being fast, but it's not actually quick. But that's okay because it's like modular, right?
Well, it's fine, because all of Moody's special attack is coming from his Choice Specs Terra Normal Swallow. I realized I've just made him come again. But
Yeah, sorry,
Oh
dude.
man,
Yeah, man.
Number
I'm not
9.
going to sugarcoat it. It's a pretty good thing to
we
have.
go for double digits.
I want to point. Okay, can I point something out? Okay, so our
Sure.
special attackers on this team, our actual special attackers are Latios, Glamora, and Swellow. None of
Yes.
these, all of these now have to contend with the Steel type.
Oh, and wait,
And that's- that's
you
where-
can add Feeny into that pool as well, actually.
Yeah, you can. Well, this is what I was wanted as of, because like my phone was overheating
Yeah, you're
on
right.
the fucking
That's
night
how-
of transactions.
That's the Steel Buster I would consider.
That Terra Fire flamethrower with 125 special attack, I think it is.
As
I
of
think it might be.
This does mean
125.
that your Swellow is completely useless in this scenario. If you ever want to beat a Steel type, you do have to give up on your Swellow doing anything.
That's not true.
Wait,
Have
yeah,
faith.
Wait,
have
what's,
faith.
yeah, what's losing Terrafire, Elf?
Hitmontop.
I would assume. I think it depends, because remember I was like, I couldn't figure out how to make the points work cleanly. But
Oh.
You're not running no
No.
Terra Swellow.
It's one of those things that brings up a question of like, so what? You want like a special attacker that beats steals and has like a 110 speed tier?
kinda.
115, apparently.
You could get like Iron Moth.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones that got floated. But yeah, I'll have to have a closer look at it after that game with Swift. But definitely, I
get,
want to
like,
pick up
You could
a
get like
special
Hell
attacking
yeah.
fire. I think Chiyu might have been on my board at some point.
Well,
But-
get fucking owned, dipshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
What's on your board after Darkrai got taken?
It kept changing because it kept getting sniped. I don't know which one's the original image at this point. Shit was really unfortunate.
It would also be nice to trade Latios in for something that isn't weak to ice, because currently the ice type is causing you to blow your brains out. When, to be fair, your top two are so good at resisting everything that it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The top
Oh,
two is a
so-
tried and true combo right there. Those two are
Yeah.
crazy monster ever.
Now all you have to do to complete the prophecy, Moody, is click Hypnosis in Misty Terrain and get Reverse Swept.
Okay, Wick, I'm not gonna let you down. Don't
This is
worry.
why we have. This is why we have the bully, so we can prevent the
over.
prophecy.
No. That would be counterintuitive.
But closing statements on Moody's draft before we move to the tier list.
I hate this guy.
I think this might be my worst draft
Simple
yet,
mistake,
but I
Jesse,
have a
right.
lot of mons here that I want to use. So when it comes to trading them, I'm not actually sure what I'm going to get rid of yet. I know what I need to like add, but like I want to use Bulu, I want to use Feeny. I don't necessarily need to use them at the same time, but you know things changed. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a draft of things that I think are cool. Yeah, someone's going to have to die, as heartbreaking as this may be.
Huh? Huh? Take my ads. Oh
What
my
you-
god. Oh my goodness. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Nice ad block. Nice
Oh
ad
my
block.
God. Let me
GG's.
click on the ad block button.
Hashtag kill Wicket.
Pause on this side.
Let's get it trending.
There you go.
All socials.
How does this look on the stream? I'm gonna have to move it over a bit.
Don't swap Litten. Litten, no.
Okay, what was the
Alright.
best and worst draft?
Fuck. What was the
Mine
best
is
and worst draft?
anti-synergistic
Oh, well, we got
as
the worst
shit.
round.
Make it
That's
the worst.
absolutely goat meal.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think
I
the-
finally don't have a top of S draft. Fuck, yes, dude.
and it's the
Yes.
thoughts.
And at the same tier as Goat Meal, I would probably say is Super Pyrus, but nah, probably not same tier. There's so much.
Yeah, I'll accept the crown.
I'll accept same tier.
If we're ordering it, yeah, agreed. Well, no, we
Kieran
want
gets
to. We
top
want
draft.
to.
I'd
Do we not want
say
the
yeah.
perfect curve? Yeah, I
No, we
I
don't
think.
get the perfect bell curve.
Yeah,
This pool has surprisingly a lot of like mid drafts, like not great.
I think so. I do think I look at everyone else's draft and I'm like, I don't know how they didn't do what I did.
Yeah.
I'd say the next best draft
Probably
is.
I did
quite
this by
high.
accident. I don't know what you guys were doing.
I'd say it probably is like Jevils.
Can I see Jebbles again?
It's Jevil or Sepha, I feel like, and then Liam after that. Oh wait, hang on, no, it's Wiggs. I'm literally stupid. It's Wiggs.
Is mine second
Yeah.
best?
noticing how Wick didn't intervene after we all called his draft Hitler as it was happening, and
I
in
feel like-
review.
I don't think. I
Low
think.
key. Low key does Wix have an argument for first?
I don't think so.
I
think
don't
the
know if
speed-
this is low
I
key.
think
The
the
lack of coach
speed. I
resistance
think the
was
speed.
holding
I think
problem-
I think the speed is a problem.
Also that,
can see
yes.
it. Yeah,
What
but
is
yeah, I
this
think Wix is
ad-
very clearly
What is
second.
this ad doing? Wait, the
I
stream.
don't know.
The stream can
I
just.
don't.
The stream has just a very corner of the ad. It just gets
Yeah.
the top left corner. Go away.
I'm trying to figure out from context clues what's happening. It's like a puppet.
Then after that, I'm inclined to say Jevel over Sepha.
Sure.
Yes, I'm falling lower and lower. Lower and lower.
Wilcox strikes again.
Jevel over Sepha.
Been real.
But I could be convinced of the reverse.
I'm currently.
I like.
thinking.
I think the power and synergy of like the top of Jevel's is better than Sepha's.
Yeah.
I think Sepha's is pulling itself apart a little harder, but I think the mon quality on Sepha's is like better overall. So I'd be inclined to give Jevel higher than Sepha, but I could be. I'm with Brandon. I could be argued to give Sepha like more, just because it's like I look at all these mons and I'm like, well, that can't be a bad draft.
Yeah. We'll. I'll give it to Jevel. But yeah, I think they're both like right next to each other.
Yeah, it's.
Wait,
it's
where
close.
does Liam go?
I would say Liam's is probably in the next slot.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Liam
is
or
the next
Moody.
best.
Liam or Moody.
I like Liam's more than Moody. I'm not gonna. I like no word. I think Liam's is significantly better.
Yeah,
than
no,
Moody's.
Of
Yeah.
course it is. It's a song.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true.
floor
So,
slash
it's the
ceiling
question of, do
just
we
goes
want
up.
Liam at the bottom of A or the top of B?
I don't want to be saying everyone in this tier is in this pool is in A tier, because
Yeah.
I think they're actually.
I
I
less
don't believe
ages.
this. I frankly don't believe this.
I think this pool is overall. Has
To be
worse
clear,
draft
these
than
pools
the
are being currently rated against each other, against itself, not
Yeah,
each other.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I'll
only
be
rated
real,
against
a
each other.
couple of these, I'm talking about Javel and Sepha, those A tiers, they're not making A tier in Pool A.
Inglorious pool A.
Right, just
Pool one, you
Not
mean?
your barbarous pool. Sorry, in our glorious Pool 1, your barbarous
Glorious.
Pool A.
Glory to pool 1.
Alright, what do we think of
I
Swift?
think the next best is Swift. I think Swift's draft is
Swift,
dumb.
Sid,
I think it's dumb. But like there's good stuff. I think Jester's is the next best.
I'd be inclined to go. I don't hate Leo's.
I don't hate I don't hate Sydney's either. I think they're all around. They're all
I think they're all kind of slopped here, to
I
be
think
honest with
Swifts can go in C.
yeah.
you. Sure.
It's just Swift is like there's good stuff, but I think the overall draft is
Alright,
dumb.
you know what? Actually, pick one of these that you think deserves to be in B tier.
So it's Leo or Sydney.
I would have said it's between Leo and
I
Chester.
think it's. I think Leo beats out Sid.
I think it's
Show
Leo.
me Sid's again. I don't know. I like Sid's a lot. But I like Leo's. Actually, you know, I'm changing my mind. It's between Sydney and Leo.
I feel like the common denominator here is Leo's.
Yes, it's probably Leo's.
Fine. Justice isn't bad, but I think
it's
Leo's does
Oh,
beat it out.
God, I actually don't like any of these. I think they all kind of suck.
They're all so close, though, is the problem. Like, they're all, like, one mon away from being good. Like, there's just a decision that turns it into a good draft, right?
I'm pretty happy with that as a tier list.
Yeah, this feels good to me.
I think this.
So, do we want to do the grand unified tier list? You know, the gut of the
We should
draft league?
absolutely do this now that Moon is away. This is the perfect time.
While he can't plague us.
Yeah, you want to go make the tier list for that?
Chester
I am.
hitting that, guys. I can't be worse than Leo. I'm putting my hand on your shoulder, bro.
Jester, this has happened to you multiple times. I'm pretty sure. You were below him last season when we had like and the season before we had the well done loopy tier and the Jester tier was below that.
What does that mean? What do you think it means, Crossed Moon?
In this case, wait, Sid, are you making the unified tier list?
Stream's on enough of a delay that I might have forgotten.
Moon is
I
in
said
chat.
that.
Moon, can you make the unified tier list?
He's
The
got the
grand
unified
unified-
tier list. He's already
Yeah,
made it.
wait,
No,
what do you
can he
mean?
give us it?
What do you mean?
I
You
mean-
only just realised Moon is in
No,
chat.
I
He's
just
been here
realised
for
what that meant. I just realised that he could just give me the
I realized that meant you
the
can get
full
someone
one.
to do your work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
you lazy fucking bitch.
Exactly. What do you
Can you
mean?
pin these tier lists so
What do you
people
mean
can like
while
come back to
Moon's
them
not
for agenda
taking it
posting?
up? Oh, but,
I'll put them in announcements.
Where's the
Okay.
original tier list?
Good stuff.
Well, if you send me the tier
I can
lists,
send
I
the
will.
folder. Aw.
You have to save the images.
Aw, I need somebody.
Did
to do
anybody
this.
save
Somebody
the?
to do my job
Did
for
Moon
me.
save the image for the first one?
It's here. It's here. One sec. Oh, there you go. I'm trying to find.
Alright, yeah.
How to. Wait. No. Sid, are you making it? I need somebody else to.
I'm gonna lose
I
my
need
mind.
somebody else to. I'm not able to.
Give me like.
I'm a humble
okay, yes.
streamer. I'm gonna go through. We're gonna go through pool one so we remember what's going on here.
I'm so
There you go.
ready
The
to
zip's
die,
there.
man.
Don't open that.
Download this.
That's a zip bomb.
Nope.
Moon
Nope.
just
I am not opening.
Wow. Wow, this is some really freaky porn.
open this on your stream, please and thank you. Yes.
Oh my god, Moon, what the hell?
I'll do it. You fucking
No, I can
disgrace of a human.
choose files. Oh, what the hell?
God, Moon, you're a freak of nature.
In a Discord, nonetheless.
Remember, kids, always look up. Okay, I won't finish that one actually.
It's crazy how that's his favorite game.
Oh no.
I know, right?
Oh no, I did it badly. Oh no, I did it wrong. Where can I put it?
I like the idea that like a dozen people join join this VC just to listen to us, as if there wasn't a fucking stream.
Yeah.
They joined to
What's
listen
the
to us
issue
so
with
they
that,
can make like,
Brandon?
background noises.
You could be generating ad revenue.
Yeah.
I'll be real. I'm doing both.
Yeah, I've got like
You could be
6 of my
supporting
bots watching
our
this stream.
I got my guys.
Yeah, 6 of my bots is what I call my
I'm
friends.
I'm an actual part of the stream and I'm watching it.
I just wanted to join to
Look at
say
that.
Fuck, it's over.
I was commentating my mirrors instead of being here. I need you to know that was misery.
I had the stream open.
I had to commentate it with a smile, bro.
Wikis lazy dot what?
That's true.
What?
Wikislazy.mp4 is real.
Oh my god, 7 ads just hit my fucking screen.
Do you not have ad block?
Adios.
It's an ad super new.
I do have ad block, but the site
Are you sure?
The site complained to me saying, "Oh, we're not going to let you use the site unless you turn off your ad block." They put me.
You should have.
I
you should
swear
have made
you
it
blocked
stand on it.
Monster.
Should have made it in paint.
Wait, what if we turn it back on? Will it? Do you think he'll realize? Do you think he'll know?
I swear uBlock gets rid of that thing that stops you.
God.
I can't wait. This is gonna be a great unified tier list where you just put the S people in S tier, the A people in A tier, the B tier.
Well, I think a lot of the A people from my pool will not be A on the unified tier list. My
Okay.
pool, couple of bums.
Wait,
I
I need
know.
to see.
I kind of agree. I'm
gonna see. I'm gonna see. Okay, I want both. I want both tier lists at the bottom of the chart, so I can refer to them both.
As a humble C tier enjoyer.
What's better? Which Dragapult team is better?
Which Dragapult Mega Diancie team is better? who is most like intelligently put together the best ones on the board into some slop? I mean,
Well, I don't want your crummy pool A Diancie. I've got my glorious pool 1 Diancie.
I think the comment the way that we looked at it was like, okay, Brandon's speed tier is very slightly better than mine. No, not very slightly, significantly better than mine because he has the Taunty. The Taunty is like actually doing a lot, but for like his speed tiers, it's very nice. My hazard setting and removal is a lot more varied than his is, but I think his general resists are better. I think his like my team has like some very notable and obvious weaknesses, and I don't think his has those. But I think my speed tiers are also nicer going down. Like my speed tiers don't drop off a cliff as much as his do.
That's true. Though I don't know how much that matters in this scenario.
I don't think Terrapagos really minds 100 mons going adamant into it. I don't think that's important. Whereas like that does kind of matter for me and my Tusk and stuff.
It changed for like a couple. Like for example, obviously you get the you have the managed to be one of the only ones that can outdo. Well, I say that. You have the Tusk that gets you the crazy ground stab and fighting stab. My ground stab is good, especially because it's 1,000 arrows, but it's not. But it is weak in comparison. Though I can Terra Ground to boost it, I guess. And in exchange, instead of a Great Tusk, I have the Proto Great Tusk, Melmetal.
You have the Great Tusk before they knew about Great Tusk. Yeah.
I get to just like beat a bunch of fairy types for free.
Yeah, but basically what happened is that my Great Tusk was shattered into 3 pieces on Brandon's draft and became Terrapagos, Melmetal, and Zygarde, which is both like good for like me because I get to compress all those into one mon and I get to pick up more like varied stuff. But it also means that there's a lot more pressure on my one than there is on like each of the individual shards of Tusk that are on Brandon's team.
Yeah, and I think Terra Raikou was a real legit advantage that you get. But on the other hand, I think that I generally think that my 2 defensive mons, Zydog's no slouch, and I think that my 2 really like hard defensive mons are better at it than yours.
Yeah, what are mine again? They're
Empoleon and then it's like a couple of like merged slot. That's what I mean. It's like Serena isn't like not nearly as much of a proper defensive bulky mon as either Milotic or Guizing.
No, none of. I don't think any of my defensive pieces are as defensive as anything on Brandon's team, really.
But on the other hand, they get increased versatility because of that. They can, they can set rocks, they can remove hazards. Well, I mean, Weezing can remove hazards, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like the pieces that I've picked up are like they're paying points from bulk into like utility, and like I think none of them are actually as passive as like Guizing is. Like Empoleon, Serena, Mesprit, and Muck are a lot less passive.
That is true.
Overall, I don't know. I genuinely could not evaluate this. I couldn't pick a better one.
I think the actual answer, my only answer I can give you is that I think I would rather have my team than yours.
I think I'd rather have mine, which is the thing that like.
Well, here we are.
So I don't know. I think it comes down to the tiebreaker, which is
So I'll say yours because Chiyu is a level of wall breaking power that I don't have.
You have Melmetal's such a good wall breaker. Banded Melmetal breaks the shit out of things.
Okay, I mean that's true, but
branded Melmetal like 70% hits resists. Like I don't know, man. Okay,
I think
here's 100% hits them.
Here's the tiebreaker. Riley, are you there?
Right.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I think
who's better, mine or Brandon?
Moon, we're doing our progression series as soon as. Let me know. I'm down anytime. We can do suck off series afterwards.
If you said you have to play one of these teams, I'll play Brandon's.
Okay, so that means.
Do you mean you would play? You would use mine, or you would play against mine?
Yeah.
No, I would use yours. I'd use Brandon's.
Okay, so Brandon's is better.
Okay. I think I would prefer Brandon's as well.
Are we suggesting that mine is more idiot-proof?
Okay, now who's the worst?
Because I contend that you could just find a dumber idiot.
Is the worst Riley's, Oatmeals, or Super Pirates'? Well, Oatmeal or
God,
Riley.
I just
I
hate
want to
them
say
all
Oatmeal,
so
but let me
much.
have a look at Riley's again.
This is Oatmeal's, and then
Oatmeal's is so confusing.
No,
whereas
I mean-
Riley's has at least
it's
directions.
Oatmeal's. Oh,
It's night and day. Oatmeal's is so bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, which
I mean,
is worse,
I've-
Riley's or Super
I'm
Pirates?
gonna say Super
hate
Pirates. I
them
think it's
all
gonna be Riley's
so
is better
much.
because it's at least like Riley's is like a hyper offense team with Deoxys speed, and Super Pirates is a team that has Deoxys speed on it.
Deoxys Speed
Hang on,
makes
let me
it
look,
onto
let
the
me look
list.
at Super Pirates team again. Let me look at Riley's team again.
I think the problem
fuck,
is
where's
Deoxys
Riley?
speed is a mon that is actively not very good if it isn't doing something very specific, right? It needs to be facilitating a team, and I think Deoxys speed is actively really good on Riley's team. It is doing a lot that the team needs, and on Super Pirates' team, it is on the team.
On the other hand, man, the rest of Riley's team.
It is so much more aggressive, I think, than Super Pirates is.
Unmoved.
Because it's
so unmoved.
I'm also unmoved, but it is
unsold.
faster, so it is going to try and win the game faster, whereas I don't know what Super Pirates' team is doing. Like, what I think happens on Super Pirates' team is Deoxys speed comes in, sets up the screens or whatever, and then they get defogged away by something, and then a faster mon than his team has access to that like will just kill the whole team. Because the whole team is slow as shit. It's not very fast. And at the very least, Riley does not get beaten by one Scarfer.
I'm looking down. I'm not sure if I'm agreeing with that, but okay.
Like, do you not think like the speed tiers on Super Pirates' team make it like a shit hyper offense team when it doesn't do anything else really?
Are the speed tiers on Riley's team better?
They're faster at the very least.
Slightly.
Significantly. There's a
Wait,
Greninja, there's a Jolteon.
There's the Garchomp we mentioned that outspeeds.
Riley doesn't have a Greninja.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does. What are you
On the
looking
document, she has a Quaquavel.
Huh?
Oh, has she made trades?
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Did it get worse? Hang on.
Greninja, Terra, Jolteon, and Hitmonchan turned into Quaquavel, Terra, Articuno, and Umbreon.
And Umbreon.
Oh, so now it's slow. Oh, well now it's worse. Riley, you've made the team worse.
Okay, hang on. Are we ranking the drafts as they appear on this?
No, we have to draft us. Yeah, we have to draft them.
Oh,
we have to make it a
fuck.
good, accurate ranking.
Hang on. Can you like just show Riley's team on the document on the stream real quick?
yeah.
I need to look at it with my eyes. Because now I need to know if I think it's worse than Oatmeal's.
This is the wrong pool, isn't it? This is it.
Crazy.
Like I'm sorry, Riley. Like I think the one thing your team had going for it was like the speed tiers, and you've ripped them out. You've ripped the copper wires out the wall. Where is it? Garchomp, Deoxys Speed, Quaquavel. So now the fastest mon on the team that can Scarf is Enamorous.
Which is why I said, yeah, it's faster than Super Pirates, but like,
No,
not
it's not
that
even
much.
really.
We did
Yeah,
mention
no, this
that.
team-
We did mention the famous Garchomp outspeeding Super Pirates' whole team.
Now
This
that
is
is true.
It would
That is
win in
literally true.
it would win in the 1v1,
But
I
in
think the
general-
power now this team does not really have power. Also, I think the power is gone for like a misguided effort of giving it a defensive backbone that has not worked, and now it's just bad.
I like the idea that the power is gone by giving up Greninja.
No, because how do I put it? Because now we need to worry a lot more about speed control on these slower guys, right? Like
That's
now we
fair.
can't ban the Garchomp, now we can't Specs and Enamorous as freely as we could before. which is creating a situation where now Enamorous has to be speed control, so we've lost a shitload of power. I think in practice, whereas I think Super Paris' team doesn't care as much about doing that because those guys are just bored like baseline.
All right, and what were you saying about Oatmeal's draft?
Is Riley's worse than Oatmeal's now? No. Okay, so Oatmeal's is still the worst. Sorry, I just had to look at it again. But yeah, wow. I saw the Terra Articuno go up, and I was like, awesome. I love Terra Articuno, and then I actually looked at what left for it, and now I'm sad. Fuck.
Okay.
Anyway,
what tier are we doing next?
Let's do A. Let's look at some
A
cool
tiers.
drafts.
So top of A was me and Julian.
Tapping. We're doing progression tomorrow, Moon. I'm tapping the fuck in.
Yeah, I think this all looks. What was the next highest in
It was
in the good pool?
Muse K.
Muse was it,
yeah, it was Muse.
It was Muse. Can I look at Muse's draft again? Sorry, I'm gonna do this a lot.
Wait, yeah, no, but this is good. Wait. This was...
Muse's draft has changed from what it is on the page, isn't it? Wait, isn't it? Wait, well, that might have been the one that got edited. It might be the literal one that got edited.
Did Muses get edited in real time?
My low-tick team in ST.
Yeah, yes, because
did.
the Alakazam Toxapex made it.
Yeah. This is the edited version. Yeah, I think. Do I like? Okay, do we think this is stronger than Wickets? Yes, no.
When it
It is when Alakazam. Oh wait, it's not Mega. It can't trace.
Obviously.
I was gonna say it is when Alakazam traces Swift Swim and sweeps his bitch.
I mean, it's not a 1v1.
It only has the shit ability.
It's obviously not a 1v1.
Yeah,
but
no, because in the 1v1, Rillaboom has already put you in a pack.
But
Rillaboom Toxapex.
Defensively, mine is obviously ass, and this one's pretty well rounded because it's a Musekirk draft. Offensive, when it's going well though, my draft is obviously a rain team, so when it's going good, it's going good.
So much higher.
And when this team is going good,
it's still offensively a little.
What does going good look like for this team? There's a few spikes up.
Alakazam. It's setting spikes and dragging the game out to like 50 turns, and then Megalopony / Xurkitree come in and kill everyone.
/ Xurkitree / Rillaboom. It's like
Alakazam comes in with
someone
a sash
cleans up.
still unbroken.
Yeah.
Alakazam
or a lob
comes
or
in
whatever.
with a sash and then counters a fucking
You're
attacker.
not wrong,
in
brother.
one hit, killing it.
You are not wrong, my brother. You are not wrong.
So what are we feeling?
I'm
thinking yours is a bit easier to try and get to the win con of.
Yeah, I think this Muse's draft requires a lot of consistency in play over lots of turns. So I'd want to say yours is like Wickets is more likely to win the average game where its game plan happens.
Especially in a draft with as many high-powered teams running around as this one does. I think Muse might have more trouble getting to that game state that she likes than you do. I think there will be times you can just like set up Rain and start and close your eyes, hit the Jesus take the wheel with Basculegion.
Yeah, okay. I'll still say Wickets is higher, but I do think it's interesting there was a discussion.
And is Julian's beating mine out?
I mean, yeah, it's Moon, Tapu Lele, Sneasel, Corviknight. Like, I don't know.
I
Man.
think it beats me
ones.
out.
I think this one has an even easier win condition to get to.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it plays better outside of it.
And the last 8 tiers we put were Jevil and Sepha in the bad pool.
Alright, get those two out of there.
And check. Yeah, these were the most fraudulent. Yeah. And then
Yeah, so the
Czechs
question
was
is,
in
what are the B tiers in the other
Wait,
ones?
Czechs was
right?
the last A tier in the original pool.
Alright, let me see
Ooh.
Czechs again.
Yeah, I don't think it's staying A tier because I don't remember.
I
agreeing
think
to it
that's
good.
I think that's unlike. Oh wait, hang on. Czechs was the correct Sun team.
That I quibbled over Typhlosion Mischievous a bunch.
Yeah, we just kind of ignored those at some point.
Yeah, this was the one where I said you should just like get Great Tusk off of Moon.
Somehow, although that does make it incredibly weak to ground. But the
There's no
the
somehow
conclusion was,
about
I
it.
don't care.
If Chex walked up to Moon and said, "Do you want to trade Landorus T for Great Tusk?" Moon would do a backflip.
Yeah. No, I think this is this. I could see this still staying A on the grand tier list.
Moon might suck Chex's dick to get him to take the Tusk.
Well, in that
he
case,
said it as
yeah.
he typed it as I was saying it.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the worst of the A tiers were Jebel Sefer, and the best of the B tiers were Lito, Crash, and Bernstein. And then the bad pools, so Liam's is in discussion probably.
I mean, which Sun team do we think is better, Chex or Liam's?
I think we.
I mean, we put one in.
Sorry, I've just looked in chat.
It's gonna look like that blob if he gives me Lando.
Which orb is getting the best head? Chex.
I mean, we objectively put Chex's Sun team in A, and we put Liam's Sun team in B. And then we're putting the rest of the A tiers of.
But that was relative to its pool, right? So I think we're happy to say Liam's is still in B. But do we want it? Can I see the other B tier drafts from the other? Because it's been a while.
That would be Lito and
yeah. It's Cat and whoever the fuck. This strat, I still like this strat. I think it's cool.
Wait, it's Cat and it's Crash.
Crash. Roll
Crash
the
and the
window.
boys.
Roll the windows up. Roll the windows up.
All right, let me do what I didn't do last time.
Fucking Crash. He broke his home, which he's gonna try and ask for Lando.
I think Cats is so much better than Moons.
Yeah. I agree. The one, again, the quality's so much better.
But
I think Liam's is better than Moon's.
But is Cat okay? Is Liam's better than Cat's?
It might be. Wait, hang on a second. The agenda. It might be reversing. I think this is better than Cat's. I
can
think
agree.
Again,
the
we want to talk
had
about
some real
speed.
weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Liam's doesn't have nearly as pronounced as like a set of weaknesses. So I'd be and it obviously has the height.
All right, and are we keeping the teams that were top of? Wait, for consistency, we would need these teams above. We would need to keep it as is because we had Liam's team below these two in the other pool.
Yeah. So I think this works. So now we're looking at the next teams, right? Down on the list.
Yeah, we will be looking at. Fuck. Let me pull it up on my monitor. We'll be looking at what was at the bottom of B tier in both pools. It was Moody, Leo, Marvin, and Lexi. We need to put these teams somewhere.
Alright.
Let's remind ourselves of Marvin's and Lexi's.
And those were
And
sorted
above.
Marvin and Lexi, right?
Yeah, it went Marvin, then Lexi, and in the top pool it went. In the other pool it went Moody and then Leo.
All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Let's put Leo down.
Let's put them all down. Put them all in C for now.
No, I meant put Leo below the others.
Okay, sure. And let's. Sorry, I thought you were gonna say you meant euthanize him.
That also. But I mean, at the rate things are going,
Chat. We need to fit these guys somewhere.
this seems like a problem that'll sort itself sooner rather than
We need to
later.
fit these guys in somewhere.
Maybe we need another tier.
I'm sorry. It's great because Leo's not even going to watch this stream, so I never have to pay any kind of comeuppance for that joke.
It's true.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, there's two things we can do. We can split this last
Add
set.
an E tier. Wait.
We can either add an E tier or split them between the two, and I think adding an E tier just keeps the same amount of people roughly in each tier. Because I think there is a significant, there is a line in quality drop between these tiers that are all noticeable so far. So, I'm happy to just add another tier to maintain to avoid putting someone in a tier that I don't think they belong. To avoid polar bears in Austin, Texas.
Add an Edmund tier.
Oh, you accidentally swapped Briley and Super Pirates, by the way.
My bad.
You got to keep those ordered. We're ordering everything. It's important. It's not important at all. Okay. So for now, if we throw them all in, if we throw the remaining people in D and then just see if we want what order we want them in.
Yeah. Let me look up what was the original orders we gave them. In one pool we put Bommy, Neon, Piper, and then in the worst pool we put Jester, Sid, Swift.
I think we could. Do we agree Swift is the worst of them, or do we think Piper's is worse than Swift's?
I can't. Let me
Mine's worse. It's anti-synergistic. Mine's worse.
Let me look at Piper's.
Shut the fuck up.
My fault, gang. It was worth a shot.
Piper's.
No, Moon, I'm not calling it A for effort because I don't believe that the people in E all put in the same, all put in high effort. I know they didn't.
Move two guys up from D. Not everything has to be symmetrical. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's more important that we have a what's the word?
Although low
it's like
key,
a separation. That there's like a separation.
Key, I could move Bommies up.
Sure, I can see it. This is Is
it better than Leo's?
Is it better than Leo? Is Leo washed?
Wait, is it allowed to be better than Leo's? It could be better than Leo's. It could be. Alright.
It is perfectly allowed.
No, I like Leo's way more.
Oh yeah. But I think it's not.
Hang on, wait. Is that a Mega Gallade pick one? Yeah, send that shit to hell.
But I'd be okay with moving. You know what? I do think Bommies is better than the rest of these, so I'm happy to put it in C. Okay. But yeah. So we have. So we moved Sid. So we have Sid over.
Sid over
so then it's then we'll just move backwards. Do we think? And we had Jester over Swift.
Yeah.
Do we think Jester is better than?
Well, this is the order we had in the original.
So do we think
Jester's better
Piper
than
is
Piper?
better? Yeah. And then likewise, do we
this is
think
Piper's? And this is Jester's.
I think I like Jester's more, but I'm not sure. Piper's makes so much more sense.
This one had a fucked up matchup chart, right? Is that what
it was quite weak to rock, was what we concluded.
Piper's is very weak to rock.
Which isn't the worst problem in the world, but it does mean it loses really hard to Jesters.
Well, I mean, it also means it loses really hard to stealth rocks.
It means it has to, everyone has to come strapped with boots every week and hope they don't get knocked off. Which takes away from potential banded Weaviles. It takes away from potential all
right. So are we feeling Jester or are we feeling?
I think I'm feeling Jesters. As much as it's confusing, it doesn't have a clear and obvious huge weakness. It's just weird and it feels like we're pissing points into the abyss. Okay. Do we think Sydney's is better than Piper's? I don't remember locking in on a real specific problem with Sydney's as hard as we did on Piper's.
I'll tell you one thing that is blatantly very different between those two. Piper's has a lot more upfront power than Sydney's does.
Yeah. I'd say it's the main thing that Piper's draft has.
Yeah.
And they both have a
And
Weavile.
with speeds being so
Do you know what?
comparable.
How does this keep happening? Where we keep comparing drafts with the same ones, like to themselves. Like the Weaviles are being compared to each other, the Diancies and the Dragapults are being compared to each other, and the Oxus Speeds are in the bottom being compared to each other.
I don't think
like these are good.
I think Sydney's draft is generally sturdier because it doesn't have as glaring of. I say that it is going Corv. Please save my bitch from the fairy types.
And the toxic spikes are the other thing. But I think those are way more niche problems than Piper's Stealth Rock problem. Like, every draft has Stealth Rocks, not every draft actually has toxic. Most drafts have toxic spikes, but
not every draft has a really good offensive fairy.
Well, some of them
But
have just
every draft has Stealth Rocks.
Yeah, so I think I'm happy to put Piper's below Sydney's, but I think I could see an argument that the upfront power
I could get argued out. Moon is glazing the hippo.
Alright, and now we need to compare Neon and Jester.
I also think Sydney's is better at like a potential sweep. If only just because of Valiant.
Valiant is so good at that. Whereas I think that the equivalent on Piper's team is something that Sydney also has, which is Swords Dance on what's it called?
Weavile.
Weavile, yeah.
Alright,
it's not even glazing. It's not even glaze. It's not even glaze.
We're remembering Jesters.
Yep. It's just true.
I'm remembering it. I'm gonna say Jesters. I think Neon's problem of like Latios is the only special attacker is so glaring.
Wait, did he gain that? Did he? Wait, no. He gained a he Terra Gadvar, right?
Oh, he gained. Okay.
He lost Alolan Muck, Wug Trio, and Volbeat. He lost his 3 worst guys for a Terra Gadvar.
Alolan Marowak, you mean? For a Terra Gadvar? Oh, that fixes the problem. Yeah, this is better. I have no questions. This is better.
Alright. I think that locks us into this then. This locks us into the Super Truth Nuke Beam.
The Grand Unified Tier List. I am a lawyer. This is my legal advice.
This is medical advice. This is financial advice.
Alright,
listen to this in all aspects of your life. Like,
and make it everybody else's problem.
What's this one video I saw earlier of the guy saying like, yeah, if I got my arm chopped off, I would like just rub like butter and raw meat on it, and it would like grow back. Like the raw meat would be absorbed.
All right, well, Brandon's carried, Kieran's carried.
Yep.
The only honest.
Wait, hang on. I'm not even the best draft.
The only honest gamer of this entire draft league is Oatmeal.
True. If any game that Oatmeal wins, it is pure skill all the way down.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, people. I'm so glad this entire draft stream is split between 2 different channels now.
Yep, that's not confusing. You gotta somehow download this VOD and send it to Moon so we can get it on his channel.
Yeah, people are gonna have a good time tracking these VODs. But yeah, see y'all. There we go. That's the stream done.
Okay, I'm looking at trades.
That was fast.
Yeah. Yeah, we're killing Latios for Iron Morph instantly. That's happening. No reaction.
Rub butter on it. What messages is I figured out how I'm breaking steels.